Tonight's game on the USPBL Network is sponsored by CNS Healthcare as we honor Mental Health Awareness Night here on this gorgeous night for baseball here at Jimmy John's Field. We got some Friday night action for you as the Beavers take on the Hoppers. What's going to be an exciting matchup here this evening. Alex Johnson and Brady Beaton on the call for you this evening. And Brady, we had a great week one of action last weekend. All four teams put on a show, and it was a great effort all around for the USPBL to kick off the 2023 season last week.
Had a little bit of everything. In the first doubleheader on opening day, the revised opening day, had a pair of extra inning games that the Diamond Hoppers won in the sudden death, one on offense, one on defense. Then the next day with the Beavers and the Unicorns, the ball was flying out of the ballpark. There were fireworks the night before, but on Sunday, there were fireworks on the field as Chris Davis had a great game. There were a few others. We had a little bit of pitching, a little bit of hitting. It was just a little bit of everything to start off the 2023 season.
It was great baseball all around, and the Beavers, despite that great effort by Chris Davis, they fell off by the Unicorns, who came back late and took it from them. And looking at to bounce back here tonight against the Hoppers, a team that you said won two thrilling games in sudden death. A lot of fireworks around last night. What do you think both teams got to do here in game two for the Beavers and game three for the Hoppers tonight?
Well, it's interesting. You're still figuring out what these teams are and what these players are. So, okay, are the Beavers a good hitting team? Are they going to take it to the Diamond Hoppers pitching, or are the Diamond Hoppers staff on the mound going to be able to continue it against a team that was doing pretty well at the plate? This is where you find out, okay, what was the anomaly, what was real? I think it's more of a wait and see and just help form the opinion here early on in the season.
Yeah, I was able to talk with both coaches, Ryan Cockey of the Hoppers and Don Dabrowski of the Beavers, and both coaches were talking about how they got to be able to make adjustments early on. And Coach Cockey was really happy about his team on Saturday. They grinded the whole way through to the final out, and that was a difference maker in winning on Saturday. And when I talked with Coach Dombrowski, he mentioned with me this afternoon that they made some mistakes along the way, despite a good performance at the plate.
Right.
They got to make clean up some mistakes out on the pitching and on defense, and which was a difference maker when the Unicorns pulled away on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing I noticed differently, I mentioned the pitching, is that the Diamond Hoppers used 4 pitchers in the 13 innings they played last Saturday, where the Beavers had basically by committee, there was 2 innings and you're done, getting everyone some work. Will they go with that approach again, or are they going to hope that their starter can keep them going through a few innings, and how long of a leash will each guy have?
Yeah, absolutely, especially with some time off, and we're going to see how both managers do with handling the pitching staff here tonight. And something interesting about that, leading into it here, we had our first player in the USPBL signed by an MLB organization this season by the Minnesota Twins. It was the Hoppers, Jake Wozinski, a graduate from Oakland University a few years ago. Had a great performance on Saturday. He went 4 innings, 7 strikeouts, 3 hits, no walks in the 15 batters he faced. He put on a great show, and he's now signed by the Twins, and congratulations to him and all the accomplishments he has done in his career and for the USPBL.
Absolutely. I talked with a member here at the USPBL before the season started, and he said, hey, if Jake's here a month, we'll feel good about it. And well, he was here 1 game, and the Twins loved what they saw. It's a 6'8" frame, very projectable. He's got a good fastball. If he can develop 1 or 2 other pitches, he might be one of those really big success stories that we're talking about in a year or two, seeing him in a big league ballpark. He was dominant on Saturday and a well-earned trip to the Minnesota Twins organization.
Yeah, congratulations to him. And I also talked with Coach Cockey about that, just to add on to it. He worked really hard in spring training. He was here last year. He had a long season being at Oakland University last year, and just decided, just try to get back into refocusing into spring training to get to this point. And he worked really hard to get here, and it takes a lot of hard work to get to the major leagues.
Absolutely, and we wish him the best the rest of the way.
Yeah, now talking about the pitching matchup here tonight, see what Coach Cockey is bringing to the table is Andrew Verbugge, a guy from Grand Rapids who went to Hillsdale College. He's making his first appearance and start tonight. Last season, he went 2-6 in 15 starts, 80 strikeouts and 40 walks, a little over 5 ERA. And looking over for the Beavers, it's Zach Gore, the only lefty in the entire USPBL.
Yeah, should be a good matchup. I want to see what they do early on.
Yeah, now we're going to take a look at what both pitchers are going to be facing here in tonight's starting lineups. First, for the Hoppers, leading off is going to be the leading shortstop, Alex Pup. He'll be followed by the second baseman, Chandler Dunn, who was great. He got the victory in Game 2 with the walk-off hit. Nick Marcoux at first, bats third. In the cleanup spot is the designated hitter, Joe Burke. Brian Schellenbarger out in right, bats fifth. Anthony Flores out in left in the sixth hole. Chris Ayazada in center, bats seventh. Whit Hughes behind the plate, bats eighth. And rounding out the lineup is the second baseman, Todd Maddox, and on the mound for the Hoppers is Andrew Verbugge. And now going over for the Beavers side, starting out in left, Chris Davis. He was the guy that went 4 for 4 with 2 homers on Sunday. Travius Ford out in center, bats second. He also had a great game on Sunday. J.D. Stubbs over at first, bats third. Malik Bolin in the cleanups is the DH. Jermaine Spears out in the hot corner, bats fifth. Out in right is David Meach in the sixth spot. Andreas Ugarte's behind the dish, batting seventh. Marcus Judd is at second, and then rounding out the lineup is a shortstop, Ben Wilcoxon, and Zachary Gorey is on the mound for the Beavers. So, any final thoughts on what you think for tonight?
No, great night for baseball. Beautiful weather on this holiday weekend. Let's get to it. Excited to be here at the ballpark.
We're going to get underway in just a few minutes, but first, we're going to send it down to Carol Wolfbauer, who had a chance to talk with Chris Davis of the Beavers.
Carol Wolfbauer here today with Chris Davis. Now, we saw Chris Davis play last Sunday. He went 4 for 4 with 2 home runs. Now, you are a returner, Chris. You're coming from last season. And tell me how it feels to step up back to the plate, because you can just tell it's prevalent looking at you at the plate that you are a returner. So what's the different feel this year?
2 things are big differences for me from last year to this. First is obviously with the back injury last year, being able to get healthy, spend some time at home and see some good doctors up there, be able to kind of fix that issue that we were having. And then second was the training that I was able to do this offseason out at Driveline. Fantastic staff out there, and really felt like we did a lot of good things. Certainly added on some bat speed, helped with smash factor and being able to score the ball up more often. Strength conditioning was a plus too as well from my guy Jared DiFilippo with Challenger Strength in New Jersey. So combine that all and just come out with a good approach, and I'm happy to be back and feel like I'm playing well so far.
And how are you continuing your training now when you come back here with us at the USPBL?
Absolutely. USPBL does a great job with developing players, and it's something that we work on over at On Deck Circle down at Prospect Center that we're working on a daily basis, being able to get those swings in. And they have great opportunity with the complimentary membership over at the Edge Fitness here, and able to just get in there and get my lifts in, get in the cage and get my swings in. So it's really good job by the USPBL taking care of their players and helping guys to develop while we're in season as well.
Awesome. Well, we're so glad to have you back this year at the USPBL. It's awesome watching you on the field. You can really tell you came into yourself this year. Just from one game, you can already tell that. And that's just amazing, having this new team coming out here. Beavers coming off a big championship last year. So tell me about this new team and how it contributes to your new feel at the plate.
Absolutely, yeah. Anytime you're dealing with baseball, there's going to be guys coming in and out of the door all the time, and but it's great. We've got a few returners, and those guys have really done a good job, particularly J.D. Stubbs and Travius Ford. Jesse Galindo have done a great job with establishing the culture that we want to have as a ball club, and having Diesel this year at the helm is really great. He's done a great job as well, instilling work ethic in the guys. And so I think we've got a good culture, and certainly we've got some new talent this year, that guys that I think are really going to be successful for us, both offensively and on the pitching side. So hopefully we can, get it going, start getting some wins here, but I think we look good.
Get another championship hopefully under your
Absolutely.
belt. Yes. Well, watching you guys on the field, it's obvious that culture is starting to form, and I really look forward to watching it form the rest of the season.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for joining us today. He was a triple away from the cycle last weekend. We'll see if you can get it soon, right?
Maybe so.
Get you back out there. Another 4 for 4 day.
We'll take it.
All right, let's get back to the guys up in the booth. We're getting ready for the USPBL Network to get started. First pitch coming soon today.
How do these business owners find the time for peace of mind? Because they rely on Tryon to handle difficult and time-consuming HR tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and more. Working with Tryon, one of the nation's top professional employer organizations, provides access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans and its team of attorneys and HR experts. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Jimmy John's Field for some Friday Night Baseball here as we have Mental Health Awareness Night sponsored by CNS Healthcare. It's also Meet the Hoppers Night here at the ballpark. The Hoppers able to interact with the fans before the game. Always a great time for that. And we're going to get ready for some baseball as the Hoppers look to take care of business tonight against the Beavers. Should be a good one. Let's take a look at our sponsors who make this broadcast possible. Our sponsors here for tonight's game are sponsored by CNS Healthcare, Ascension, Belfour Property Restoration, Budweiser, Dave & Buster's, DTE Energy, Fifth Third Bank, Jarbcom, Jimmy John's, Macomb Community College, McLaren Macomb, McQuaid Heating and Cooling, Plumbing and Refrigeration, Metro Detroit Chevy Dealers, Pepsi, Scott's, and United Wholesale Mortgage. The starting lineups are getting announced on the field right now. Like I mentioned, it's going to be a good one, Brady. Here, Brady being on the call with me here tonight. Going to be an exciting matchup here. As both of these teams, the Hoppers coming in 2-0, the Beavers 0-1. We're seeing how both teams make adjustments here as we're in week 2 on the season.
Yeah, can't ask for a better night of baseball. It's the Friday of a holiday weekend. The sun shining, hasn't been a cloud in the sky all day. And we're going to have a pretty fun baseball game in front of us. You saw the Beavers. They did drop their opening game, but Chris Davis, he was the story, put 2 over the fence. He had a lot of pop in the order for the Beavers at the top of the lineup. But the pitching staff for the Diamond Hoppers showed what they could do. We talked about that in the pregame. We'll get to see a lot of different combinations, a lot of different arms today. I'm excited to see how these two match up.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what both sides bring to the table in the rotation. Guys coming in every couple innings or so just to keep the hitters on pace, just to see what adjustments they have to face when they face a new pitcher on the mound.
Yeah, and the one other thing I'm curious about is, unlike other leagues in baseball where you're playing 6 days a week, every single day, let's see how the momentum, if some guys can carry it weekend to weekend, or it's such a long time off in between games, if it affects and you basically start every weekend fresh.
Getting ready to, in a few minutes, we're going to step aside and we'll be back for the first pitch on here. Come up next, right here on the USPBL Network.
Jimmy John's Field is the perfect venue for birthday parties, summer picnics, company outings, and provides the best entertainment in Metro Detroit. With great baseball all summer long. Spend your summer nights under the lights at Jimmy John's Field in historic downtown Utica.
Welcome back, everyone, to Jimmy John's Field. Just wrapping up the national anthem courtesy of the Lance Cruz North High School Choir. And we're getting ready to play some baseball here. Getting ready to begin with the Hoppers and the Beavers here on a Friday night in downtown Utica on this Memorial Day weekend. Let's take a look at the starting defense for the Beavers here this evening as we take a look at that here for you. Looking out in left field for the Beavers is going to be Chris Davis. Then out in center is Travion Ford. Out in right is David Meach. And then out in the infield is Tremaine Spears at third, Ben Wilcoxon at short, Marcus Judd at second, J.D. Stubbs at first. And behind the dish for the pitcher, Zach Gorey, is Andreas Ugarte. Let's take a look now at our pitcher comparison, sponsored by Ascension. Looking at for the Beavers tonight, Zach Gorey, the only left-handed pitcher in the entire USPBL right now. Looking to look at for him so far. He's a left-handed pitcher at 6 foot 190 out of Nacogdoches, Texas. Came from Panola College in Carthage, Texas. That's 4 pitches we're going to see from him tonight. A 4-seam, a 2-seam, a slider, and a changeup. Went 2 innings on Sunday against the Unicorns. He's looking to bounce back here tonight, Brady, and try to get the first pitch right and execute on his secondary pitches as well.
And being the only lefty in the league, it's going to throw maybe some guys off for a bit. They're used to seeing right-handed, right-handed, right-handed. He's the unicorn, no pun intended, right now in the league, being the only southpaw. Again, we're going to see a lot of different guys from both sides, so his job, take care of his portion of the game and let his bats go to work.
And taking a look at the Hoppers, they're going to send to the mound the right-handed pitcher from Grand Rapids and a Hillsdale College graduate, Andrew Furbuggy, at 6'5", 200 pounds, making his first start tonight. This is his 3rd season with the Hoppers. He went 2-6 last season at 80 strikeouts and 40 walks and 15 starts, ERA a little over 5. He has 4 pitches he brings to the table, Brady, and it's going to be interesting what he does here tonight in his first start, not getting an appearance at all last weekend.
No, but I know the Diamond Hoppers staff is very excited about what Verbuggy brings. He's got a curveball that they really like, but the big issue for him, he's going to have to be able to attack the zone and stay ahead in counts, not run up that pitch count early.
Looks like we're going to get underway here. A little bit of a late change in the lineup for the Hoppers. Chris O'Neill is going to be at third base instead of Tom Maddox batting ninth. The lineup will stay the same, but we're going to get started underway. Alex Pup, the shortstop, will lead it off for the Diamond Hoppers. And the first pitch is a strike on the outside corner. First pitch at 7:03 p.m., a little bit before the original start time of 7:05.
Umpire, we had him for opening day. He's willing to give you a little bit of room off the plate, especially to a right-handed batter. So see how well these pitchers know the man behind the plate. They can attack that outside part of the plate. That's where I'd be living if I was on the bump.
Going to be interesting to see here tonight. You mentioned Brady, as that was swing and a miss into the glove by Pup. Count 1-2. Gorey getting set. That one foul right to the screen. Sunny skies at 69 degrees here in downtown Utica. Gorgeous night for baseball. Winds are between 10 and 15 miles an hour. Sends this one into left field. It's going to drop in for a leadoff single. That's how we start the night.
Pup did a good job getting the barrel through the zone, squared it up, hit it hard in the left, and that's always a good way to start the night. Get the leadoff man on. The first inning can set the tone. You get some runs across early for the pitcher for Buggy. If you're in the dugout, you want to go out there with the lead. Sometimes it just calms the nerves down a little bit, knowing you don't have to be perfect and you already have a little bit of wiggle room.
Now Chandler Dunn steps into the box. Always good to get the leadoff man on. as you see here, going to the backstop. Ugarte has to chase this one down, and Pup stands at second base easily.
And just spiked that fastball. I don't know if he was trying to overthrow it. Thinking too much about Pup over at first, but 58-foot fastball, never going to fool anyone, and it was tough for Ugarte. By the time it bounced to him, it went basically over his left shoulder.
And can't afford to make those kind of mistakes. I talked with Coach John Dombrowski about that. You know, got to be able to take control and can't allow the opposing team to get on you and capitalize on the miscues, as it's 2-0 right now on Dunn, who was the hero in the doubleheader against the Mammoths. He's coming in, a 5'10", 190 hitter from Lexington, Kentucky, from Oakland City University, was 2 for 6 on Saturday night. And Gorey down in the count as it's a 4-pitch walk.
Chance to swing the bat. Watches 4 go by, and the Diamond Hoppers have an opportunity to put a crooked number up. And this is a guy I'm expecting big things of this year with Noah Marcoux. He's a big bat from the left side. I'm expecting a lot of fireworks coming from him throughout the season. Struggled in the opening doubleheader, but still, I'm excited to see what this lefty can do.
Yeah, Marcoux being the number 3 guy in the lineup, someone you're really looking to get going. Oh, the Saginaw native steps in.
That was a pretty good pitch that was called ball 1. Check swing too, maybe a tad inside, but when you're struggling to find the zone, getting squeezed never helps.
Right down the heart of a plate, 1-1 on Marcoux. Marcoux last season was .291 on the season, had 2 home runs, driven in 22. This one has some distance into left field. That one's going to go all the way to the wall and hops over for a ground rule double.
Oh, and Marcoux's got to be upset, because if that stays in the ballpark, that's easily 2 RBIs. Gorey actually gets a little bit of help with that ball bouncing over the left field wall. But I like the approach of Marcoux. Lefty-lefty matchup, doesn't get pull happy, takes what he can, barrels it up, and just uses his strength and the bat speed. Ball carries nearly to the left field wall, and the Diamond Hoppers buzzing early.
Well, they got 2 runners in scoring position as well. You would have liked it to go down to get another one there, but still nobody out. Get your cleanup hitter in with Joe Burke. Burke was 2 for 6 on Saturday at 2 RBIs. He's from Jeffersonville, Indiana. Played at Kentucky Wesleyan College. Sends this out on the line. It's going to be caught by the second baseman, Marcus Judd.
Got in on the hands a little bit, couldn't quite get the barrel through, hit off the handle, and Gorey desperately needed a soft out, gets it with Burke. Still have to dance out of danger here in the first to make sure things don't get out of hand before the Beavers even come to bat.
It'll be another tough customer here with Brian Schellenbarger. Skies this one out of play into the seats. Trying to limit the damage is Gorey. Started out with a single by Pup, then the 4-pitch walk to Dunn, then the ground rule double by Marcoux. Runners on second and third, and only 1 out. And hits him.
That can't feel good for either Schellenbarger or Gorey. Southpaw struggling to find the zone, loads the bases on his own accord. And now the eyes have to be big for Anthony Flores. He gets a big chance early in this game to showcase his skills.
He was 1 for 4 on Saturday, coming from the Mountain West Conference and University of Nevada. Was a Great player during his time there. A key opportunity with the bags full and only one out here in the top of the first inning.
That is a filled up ball diamond. Gorey trying to dance out of this.
Gets to his motion from the stretch.
Ooh. Again, not a bad pitch. Sometimes when you're a little erratic as the pitcher, hard to get the umpire to give you the benefit of the doubt when you're not filling the zone yourself.
Yeah, difficult here, down 2-0. Trying to fight back. He gets it that way. Painted the corner. 2-1 on Flores. Gorey looking for the double play ball, the infield in for the Beavers. Lined right at Spears. Everyone has to hold. That's a huge out.
Flores didn't quite get all of that. He gets just a little more. That goes over the head of Spears, and it goes into the corner, and he might have 3 RBIs to his name before the game's an inning old. Instead, Gorey gets a little bit of a break, that ball being hit right at Spears. Now you're just one pitch away from really minimalizing what could have been a big inning.
Chris Iazetta steps into the batter's box. Sent it to the screen on the first base line. You know, it's early, but runners in scoring position is going to be crucial, for both sides. Leaving men on the plate, leaving men on the base paths, excuse me, is something you look back on what both teams, what you want to do here. As you had runners on second and third with no outs, and got one in on the double, but quickly down 0-2 is Iazetta. Gorey one pitch away from getting out of this jam with limited damage. And he gets him right there. Strike 3 swinging, goes down Iazetta. But the Hoppers do get one thanks to the ground rule double by Noah Marcoux. And it's a 1-0 Hoppers lead as we head to the bottom half of the first. We'll be back after this here on the USPBL Network.
Johnny, thank you. Happy Friday night, Jimmy John's fans. What a beautiful night for baseball. I'm over here in Section 101 with JJ the Field General, presented by Michigan First Credit Union. He found a very, very special fan in the stands tonight. He found Natasha to give a beautiful bouquet of flowers to.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Bottom half of the first inning here at Jimmy John's Field. It's a 1-0 Hoppers lead over the Beavers. Alex Johnson and Brady Beaton with you for the call, and that was a huge first inning as Zach Gorey got into some trouble, allowed that one run, but nothing else after that. Was able to get out of it after that. That's huge early on here.
Yeah, now the Beavers get an opportunity to pick up their pitcher. Their strength last week was their offense. You get a run, you neutralize any damage that was done in the first inning. You hit the reset button and show your pitcher that you've got his back.
Facing off against Andrew Verbuggy of the Hoppers. We mentioned in the pregame, a right-handed pitcher from Hillsdale. There's 4 pitches that he brings to the table. Actually 5, excuse me. A 4-seam fastball, 2-seam curveball, changeup, and a slider. Trying to get the fastball around 90. A little over 90 miles an hour.
And the curveball is going to be the big one. It's a nice pitch for him, but in order for him to get to a spot where he can use the curveball, he's got to locate the fastball, keep it in the zone, and attack.
And get ready for the starting defense for the Hoppers. Looking out in left field is Anthony Flores. Chris Iazetta is in center. Brian Schellenbarger is out in right. And then in the infield, it's Chris O'Neill at the hot corner, not Todd Maddox. It was a late change by Coach Ryan Kotke. Alex Pup over at short. Chandler Dunn at second. Noah Marcoux at first. And behind the dish, Fervor Buggy is Whit Hughes. His first pitch is at 80 miles an hour on the changeup to Chris Davis. He had a phenomenal day on Sunday afternoon. He went 4 for 4, 2 home runs, 4 runs driven in, and another extra base hit on top of that. So he was all over the place. A big swing and a miss.
Trying to pick up right where he left off. He was not getting cheated with that swing. That was not a swing trying to poke it into left field. Healthy hack, and, well, he might be trying to tie this game up with the first at-bat of the bottom of the inning.
Check swing did not go. 3-1 on that 83-mile-per-hour changeup. For Buggy, getting into his windup on the 3-1 pitch. Just got a piece of it to stay alive.
And Verbuggy needs to work ahead in the count. That's where he can survive. That's where he will thrive, is when he keeps the batters off balance, not putting them in good hitters' counts or chasing from behind.
Payoff pitch coming, goes way to the backstop, and a leadoff walk for the Beavers.
And a lot of those misses in that at-bat, they weren't particularly close, especially with ball 4.
Bringing up Travius Ford. Travius Ford had a good day as well on Sunday. He's a guy that always looks to get better, game in and game out. Guy that works hard. As Verbuggy sends someone over the head of Hughes. Davis stops at second. He was thinking about going to third. That backs up is way wide here at Jimmy Johns Field.
A lot of foul ground here at Jimmy Johns Field. Oddly enough, down the lines, it's reminiscent. The only real major league ballpark that has this much is the Oakland Coliseum, and that might not be a major league ballpark for too much longer. But weirdly enough, right behind the backstop, not very much space. If a ball hits flush off the paneling right behind home plate, gets a bounce, you might be able to throw someone out trying to change. That's actually where there's the least amount of territory, directly behind home plate.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. And Verbuggy throws it.
Don't know if Hughes is breaking in a new glove or what. That's the second or third time it's hit him right in the leather, and it's just popped out. I don't know if the spin of the curveball is affecting it, but Hughes having a hard time squeezing it early.
Just trying to get himself easing into it here with the 2-1 count. On the line in left field, it's going to stay fair. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Davis will score. Ford stops at second base standing up, and the Beavers have tied the game. Great piece of hitting by Travius Ford. Read that one perfectly, and we're all even.
You know, as far as doubles go, that might be the softest hit double you'll see. But hey, sometimes it's hit them where they ain't, and that time, Ford, it was a half-hearted attempt. He didn't follow through. If he does, he may have given it a ride towards the fence, but he was able to place it in the right spot, goes to the corner, and there you go, the Beavers having the back of their pitcher now going on the offensive.
Stubbs swings on the first pitch on a line, going to be caught by Anthony Flores for the first out of the inning. Glad to have you with us here at Jimmy Johns Field on this Friday night. Thank you to all those who are tuning in on Facebook and on YouTube here tonight. Make sure to leave a comment on where you're listening to, and we'll be reading those throughout the game. Brings up Malik Bolin, the DH for the Beavers. One 0 count. Wings at that one foul as Ford was hustling the third.
Almost looked like they had a hit and run or something on. That was a more defensive swing. Ford had a pretty good jump. For Buggy, maybe a bit too focused on the batter. Struggling a bit early. Sometimes you can get focused. Hey, I just need to get this guy out. Just need to get this guy out. There's a guy on second. Got a little bit of speed to him.
You always got to be careful with him. 1-1 pitch. Drops good. Stop by Hughes.
Again, just not able to squeeze it in the glove. That's maybe the third or fourth time this inning. It's just caught the pocket of Hughes and squirted away.
Verbuggy looks over at second base. Now throws inside to him at 72. Trying to get him with the curve, but didn't work. Runner goes. That's a walk. Ford slides into third safely. And now runners on the corners. It's going to be Tremaine Spears.
Whit Hughes had no chance on that steal to third. Looked like he was set up a bit inside. It got him crossed up, reaching to the outside part of the plate. Momentum taking him away from third base. And with the jump that Ford had, he was just easily able to stroll into third.
Yeah, he's difficult to stop. And again, for Buggy, bases are loaded now.
You might have to get an arm warming up early in this Diamond Hopper bullpen. I know they were hoping to get Verbuggy through a handful of innings, but he hasn't found the zone, and when he has found the zone, it has been extremely hittable from Verbuggy. Bases loaded, and there's only been one hit in the inning.
So I have 2 walks and a hit by pitch. For Verbuggy. And that double by Ford.
And you can just tell, struggling to hit the zone. That's another time that Verbuggy's crossed up Hughes.
David Meach steps in. 1-0 count for him. Swings at that one foul. Coming from Bloomfield University, an NAIA school down in Virginia. He was 0 for 4 on Sunday, but did have a very great senior season. Hit nearly 400 and had 7 home runs. That's a 2-1 count. Verbuggy in a similar situation that Gorey had in the last half inning, trying to limit the damage. Needs a double play ball. Misses that one outside, and that's been the struggle.
The approach for the Beavers right now, they can just sit in there, sit dead red fastball or whatever they want to attack, and know that, hey, they get one, it's going to catch a lot of the plate. If not, they might just get on with the walk.
3-1. Swing and a miss at 86 miles an hour to run the count full. Have to throw it down the heart of the plate.
If you're Meach, hey, a walk gets you an RBI on the stat line.
Payoff. Swing and a miss. He goes down.
It was a nice-looking fastball. Had some two-seam action to it at the knees. That's the pitch Verbuggy can bring, and that's why the Diamond Hopper staff likes him, because you look at those last few pitches of that sequence. Looked really solid. That strikeout pitch, that's a really nice put-away pitch with a fastball. The problem is you can't walk to and load the bases with a hit by pitch before you get to that point.
Look at the gap here with Andreas Ugarte. That's something I talked with Verbrugge before the game, trying to feel good in his first start in the season, in his third year with the Hoppers, trying to attack the hitters, trying to keep them off balance.
That was a good-looking curveball.
He tries to mix that in a lot to try to fool the hitter. 1-1 on the ground softly over to second. Throws over to Marcoux. Good play by Chandler Dunn to limit the damage. But they do tie it up thanks to the RBI double by Travion Ford. Tied up at 1, heading to the second. We'll be back on the USPBL Network.
They call me Prospects. Since the day I was born as a diver's watch, the challengers of the world have taught me many things. Life is not a numbers game. It's about challenging ourselves. No matter what happens, just follow your heart. These pioneers drive our generation forward. Not by setting records, but by never giving up. Keep going forward. Prospects.
Available at Lucido Fine Jewelry.
What are the odds that we're neighbors, where you've known each other our whole lives, and both tear the exact same things in this exact same knee?
So an ACL tear is an injury to the main stabilizing structure of the knee.
You want a good team around you, because then you know that what you're doing is going to help you in the long run.
My message to everyone who's helped me, thank you so much, because you guys helped me progress so much.
Also hearing it from a friend that's went through the exact same thing, I think sort of helps that know that there's a bright side at the end.
Welcome back. We got a 1-1 ball game. Getting ready to start the second inning of play. Both teams left some runners on the base paths and could have gotten more here, but both pitchers are going to try to settle in here in this second inning, starting with Goree.
Yeah, and having a fun night at the ballpark, start of a holiday weekend, but that first inning could have been a lot worse. A lot of these kids looking for the offense. That's why the young ones come to the ballpark. While I can appreciate a good pitcher's duel, you know offense is the fun one that sells tickets. But with both these pitchers, they got out of it. Could have been much worse, and for it to only be 1-1 after an inning, not a bad situation for both these guys on the bump.
Yeah, like you said, it could be a completely different game if one pitch goes your way and someone like that ground rule double that Marcoux hit. If it would have stayed in the ballpark, we could have gotten a couple more runs on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. And you almost treat this, all right, first inning, it's a wash. Hit the reset button, didn't happen, 0-0 ball game, and start from square one.
Getting ready to start here, 8-9-1 here. It's going to be Whit Hughes to lead it off. Taking a look at Hughes. He's a guy from Emmett, Michigan. Went to school at St. Clair Community College as he swings at the first pitch. Popped way up. Third base side coming into foul territory is Tremaine Spears, who makes the catch.
That was a major league pop-up. My goodness. Stayed in the air for a while. Spears just kept coming. I thought it might trip him up for a second with how long it was in the air and the spin, but did a good job tracking it into foul ground.
Yeah, that's really tough to see, especially that ground he had to carry. He was over standing where he is right now. Had to chase his way through to get that as Chris O'Neill steps into the batter's box. He's filling in for Todd Maddox in the 9 spot here this evening. O'Neill strikes that one down the hot corner. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. He was 0 for 2 in one of the games he played. He didn't play in both. And he goes down swinging. Nice pitch by Zach Goree at 83 miles an hour to send him away. That's his second punch out so far here tonight, and 2 quick outs. We'll see if he can go down in order here with Alex Pup
Zach Gorey's had a very nice response. One thing that could be helping him, something a little unique here at Jimmy John's, because of the way the grandstands are set up, right now as we get to about 7:30 in the evening here in Utica, Michigan, the pitch goes from the sun through the shadow back into the sun at home plate. Just gives a little extra edge to the pitcher, something that, well, after the first inning, both guys on the bump could use.
Yeah, especially with the sun moving its way, and then it's going to be setting at around 9 o'clock, and then
usually it's just, hey, it's either from the shadow to the sun or shadow to the sun, not usually making a trip through the shadow and starting and ending in the sun.
Yeah, that's something pitchers are going to keep an eye on, especially with that sun moving away and some of those little things you don't really pick up on, but could become a much more of an important factor later on. As it's a 2-2 count on Alex Pup. That one goes foul. 87 on that one. On the fastball. Hit softly on the ground to the Beavers dugout.
Pup battling here in his second time up in as many innings. I liked his approach the first time up. He barreled it up, hoping for another at-bat here. It's a great night for a ball game, Alex.
It is. No, sunny skies, couldn't ask for a better day. Pup again. He's continuing to battle here. Another veteran on this team, on the Hoppers, coming from Chicago. Went to the United States Air Force Academy, where he had a great career down there. Was 282 average last year as he hits off another one.
Ever been to Colorado Springs, Alex?
I have not, Brady.
It is gorgeous. It is one of the, I get why people have a fascination with Colorado, especially from around Michigan. The mountains are gorgeous, everything they have there. It is a very beautiful city up in the mountains.
Yeah, I know, it's really a lot out there. I got to make a visit there. Check swing, he did go around strike 3. Pup heads to the dugout, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Zachary Gorey. As we're tied at 1 and into the bottom of the second. We'll be back here on the USPBL Network.
With a transforming world, we can see how drastically the world is heading towards automation. And so, we need 24/7 surveillance and security systems for our homes and businesses to avoid any theft or breach of privacy. JARBCOM brings the installation of security cameras to the tip of your fingers with our state-of-the-art mobile app. JARBCOM also provides surveillance monitoring of your entire property with flexible options that offer a dependable solution to be scaled to fit any domestic or commercial need. Contact JARBCOM today for a free estimate at 800-369-0374 or look us up on the web at jarbcom.com.
Check your checking. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or geeked, make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union. It's just genius.
Welcome back, everyone. Bottom of the second we go here in downtown Utica, tied at 1-1 apiece between the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers and the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Alex Johnson and Brady Beaton with you on the call. Just want to take a look at some comments of where everyone's tuning into tonight. Heidi Johnson said she's cheering for Alex Reinl from Brazil, Indiana. Go Beavers. Rosalind Bishop also says, let's go Beavers. She's rooting for Travius Ford from Greenville, North Carolina. Christy O'Neill, let's go Hoppers, cheering from Barnesville, Georgia. Looking at some of the comments here. Going to look at Facebook as well, as we're about to get set here. Ron Matheny on Facebook says he's watching from Clarksburg, West Virginia. And Debbie Crofton says, good job, Zach. You got this, Zach. Bottom of the second inning we go. Marcus Judd lead it off. He'll be followed by Ben Wilcoxon and Chris Davis. As Verbrugge gets back on the bump. 2-0 count here.
Want to see him attack the zone. Just missing in that second one. Not missing small either. He's missing well off the plate. A lot of these are easy takes for the Beaver hitters.
Falling behind here, 3-0. Judd was 1 for 3 on Sunday against the Unicorns. And it's going to be a 4-pitch walk for Judd. Leadoff man is on again for the Beavers via the free pass.
And there's the biggest star of the league, JJ the Bat Dog. Just gives me a smile every time I see that good boy go out and grab the bat.
Always does a great job. A game is not complete here at Jimmy John's without him. He is the star of the show and gets the fans on their feet. Brings up Ben Wilcoxon. And he gets that one hit to him again. It's the second time for Brugge.
So the first time through the order, 5 free passes given up, 3 on a walk, 2 on the hit batter, only 1 hit. So 6 of the first 9 batters reach against Verbrugge. And have to imagine that leash is getting shorter and shorter. Second time through the order, let's see how the Beavers respond. And, well, you don't have to make a lot of adjustments if the pitch is missing away.
Chris Davis stepping in. And Verbrugge has not been able to find his command.
You've seen the flashes. The one strikeout he had against Meach, really nice two-seam fastball. Other small pockets, small sequences. You've seen the stuff that it's the reason why he's on the mound and the Diamond Hoppers trust him, but right now he's just struggling to find the zone.
And we're going to have a visit here.
Looks like we do have some stirring in the bullpen.
Someone's getting down there. We're going to try to see who that is. Whit Hughes goes back over to home plate. No, nobody out. Got 2 runners on. Let's keep the score where it is. As Davis steps back in after a breather up to the mound visit.
See a little bit of action in that bullpen. Ryan Cockey maybe trying to buy time for his guy to warm up, or just try to calm down Verbrugge. Make him take a deep breath. Some coaches come with a more hard-nosed approach. You know, some managers will come out and just try to lighten the mood a bit, get them to calm down and slow down the heart rate in these tough situations.
And don't want to try to do too much, especially in this situation where you feel tense. You want to be able to just relax. And once again, the bags are full.
Can't defend walks, can't defend hit batters. And now that is the 4th walk of the day for Verbrugge.
Now Travius Ford steps in. That RBI double to tie the game in the last inning.
Well, have a pitch clock violation. Ford took too long between at-bats to get in there.
That's a new rule this year that's been implemented throughout every league in baseball to speed up the game. This is now down 0-2.
He has to be careful stepping out of the box, going to get the bat. Don't want to get rung up on one. Pitch clock violation, that is. But I am a big proponent of the pitch clock.
Yeah, I'm going to rule to speed up the game, and Ford goes down swinging for the first out of the inning.
The biggest thing I've liked about the pitch clock, whether it's here, whether it's at the major leagues, is you get the rhythm to the game. You don't have to wonder, okay, there will be 15 seconds between this pitch, 35 between the next. You get that rhythm, and as a fan, I find myself, I'm not looking at my phone as much. I'm not getting distracted, because I know if I look away, I'm going to miss some action, and just that natural rhythm, I think this is one of the best rule changes any sport's done in a while.
Yeah, it's been key to the game of baseball, and this one's hit on the ground, bobbled that one off of Dunn. Everyone's safe as the throw was late to Marcoux. Judd scores, and it's 2-1 Beavers. Now took an unlucky bounce off of the glove of Dunn.
Ooh, and they're going to give the error to Dunn. That's a tough one. He's moving to his left, had the slide. That's why I'm glad there's an official scorer here, and we don't have to make that call.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it could go either way. It's really tough to make those kind of calls if it's a hit or an error. But a run does score, and the Beavers are on top. Popped out of the glove of Hughes. As Malik Bolin steps in. Got a free pass his first time up. Looking for his first hit on the season. He was a great guy last year for the Unicorns, Brady, as he chases that one outside.
And there's another example of a really nice pitch. The strikeout to Ford. That pitch there to Bolin. There's the stuff that gets you excited about Verbrugge.
Skied in the air. Into right center field. Calling for it is Iazetta. He makes the catch. Going home is Wilcoxon on the sac fly and throws away. Davis scores. And advancing to second is Stubbs. So 2 runs on the sac fly. Another throwing error.
There was just no need for that throw. Davis was a step off of third. I know you're pressing, you're trying to get the out, but Pup, hey, eat that one, live to fight another day. Verbrugge's starting to at least attack the zone a little more, but you rush a throw for an out you're not going to get, and it goes out of play, costs your team another run. That's a situation, maybe you're pressing a little bit, trying to make too much happen.
Yeah, I was keeping an eye on the play that's in center field, a catch by Iazetta, and then the throw by Putt was the cutoff, and he was trying to get it out at third, and Spears finds a hole into left for a base hit. Stubbs will score. RBI single for Spears, and it's now 4-1. Make that 5-1 rather.
And when you walk and hit batters and you have an error, play like that, which, they may have given Spears an error on that. Looks like they did. That's a tough one. He hit it hard. I get it was right at O'Neill. He laid it a little bit, but still, get a hard hit ball. Then, hey, if you're attacking the zone, you don't give free runners on. That amplifies that one hard hit ball.
And he caught the hopper sleeping. He just went to second with no throw. I think the last play was a hit. That error. There was that 2.
Oh, you're right. That error was on the Pup throw. You're right, Alex. I missed that one going up on the scoreboard. So that was a hit, as I would have thought it should have been.
It goes out of play. No worries.
So don't want to shortchange Spears. That was a hard hit ball, and I was surprised when I thought it was an error at first, or at third rather.
So a 4-run second. It's now 5-1. 2 errors in the inning by the Hoppers. Well, something that was talked about, just playing clean defense. And looking over, we have some action in the Hoppers bullpen. 2-2 count on David Meach.
Looks like that is number 20 warming up for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Ethan Young going to get a chance to come in, well, if depending on if Verbrugge can get out of the inning or not, sooner or later.
2-2 pitch. Off of Marcoux, has to throw it over to Verbrugge, able to beat him by about a step or so. That was really close. Looked like it was going to be a routine play for Marcoux. Popped off his chest, had to hurry, but it was able to get the out. A 4-run inning for the Beavers, and they're up 5-1. We'll be back here on the USPBL Network.
One thing that makes Detroit Mercy unique and different from other universities is that the faculty truly care about you, and they're always there to help. Whether it's asking questions after class or going into the office hours, they're always there to lend a hand and really make you feel at home.
People are here to work together, and whether like you have a question or you're discussing topics within the class, you can go up to your professor and they know your name. They're just willing to help you become a better overall student.
Detroit Mercy. Build a boundless future.
There are things you can rely on in this world, like your dog being happy to see you, coffee getting you through the day, and the government changing business regulations. And when it comes to navigating those regulations, you can rely on Tryon and its team of attorneys. Tryon can also tackle time-consuming HR tasks like payroll and employee benefits, so you can stay focused on growing your business. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
And welcome back. Taking a look at the Jimmy John, the USPBL dance team out on the first base side here at Jimmy John's Field. Always put on a show for the fans and provide first-class entertainment. They always do a great job getting the fans pumped up here. We have a good one. The Beavers provided some fireworks in the last inning, putting up 4 runs on one hit and a couple of errors by the Hoppers. So we got a new pitcher here for the Beavers. That's going to be Ryan Mann stepping on the hill. Something I talked with Coach Dombrowski. Most of these guys are going to be coming in a couple of innings, get some reps, get another chance to show themselves here. Let's take a look at Ryan Mann's stats here for you. And coming in from Lawrenceville, Georgia, played at Georgia Gwinnett College in the NAI, one of the top schools down there in the southeast part of the United States. Looking at his game line from Sunday, he went 2 innings, 3 hits, allowed a run. He'll be another key guy in this rotation for the Beavers, Brady, on what he brings to the table.
Absolutely. And, hey, it makes you feel a little better when you come in with a 3-run lead. Like pitchers that have the height, 6'5", big frame. And they saw last inning, in between innings, they had a message for Jake Wazinski. Already had a player get called up to or get signed by the Minnesota Twins organization. He was 6'8", Ryan Mann, 6'5", has that big frame, and when you're facing tall pitchers, man, it feels like that ball gets on you in a hurry. You see that step, and he gets more than halfway to the grass on the cutout, and that if you're not ready for it, fastball can get on you in a hurry.
Now, that's what he brings to the table. His 4-seam fastball is his toughest pitch to stop, but he also has a knuckle curve, a circle change, a slider, and a 2-seam. So he brings a lot to the table.
And you never know which way the pitch is going. All right, you have the fastball go straight. Knuckle curve will break low and away to right-handed hitters. The circle change breaks in to right-handed hitters, so he has something for the lefties. A little bit of everything for Ryan Mann. And if you can attack the zone and you can keep hitters off balance, hitting's all about timing. Pitching about keeping them off balance and off their timing.
We'll see what he does here with the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Dunn, Marcoux, and Burke. Dunn had a walk in his last time up. Mentioned was one of the heroes on the doubleheader on Saturday. Chopper fouled on the hot corner. Had 6 home runs in college, hit over 300 in Oakland City. It's a 2-1 count.
Man working very quickly. Pitch clock not an issue for him.
Trying to keep the hitters off balance, got to get them alert.
That's where man needs to live, low and away, dots the corner. Not much Dunn can do with that pitch. Love that on 2-1, perfect pitch.
Looking to get him out here. Missed it outside at 73 and low. Runs it full here.
Need to bring that in just a little bit. If that's a few more inches closer to the plate, looks a little more enticing out of the hand for Dunn. Maybe you get him to chase a pitch away.
Chases that one at 89. And it goes into the seats.
Right now, man living outside. He's gone slider or that knuckle curve away. He's gone with the fastball. Let's see what he goes with here.
Payoff. Misses in the dirt, takes a bounce to Ugarte. A leadoff free pass.
Obviously not the pitch he wanted to execute. Looked like he slipped on the pitch or it slipped out of his hand, something, because that was a 55-foot curveball that's not going to do a whole lot.
And that's something man was wanting to work on. This guy right here at the plate, Noah Marcoux, rips that one down the right field line, off the netting, near the tables down there.
Good thing JJ has his doghouse down there, but Marcoux, he's got such a smooth swing. I praised him in the first at bat. He didn't let me down. Put the ball over the left field fence on a hop for the ground rule double. And with swings like that, he's going to have more of those in his future.
His team down 4. Want to get base runners. Still early on in this game, and he's not going to get a chance. Another hit by pitch.
We've had an inordinate amount of hit batters early in this game, haven't we?
I know. We've seen this is the second time for the Beavers. I think we've had 4 total here today so far, if I'm not mistaken. 2 on each side. Coming in, not playing a game in 5-6 days. Trying to get all that rust out. Joe Burke sent one out to Judd his last time up. Burke is another veteran guy on this team. The average was down last year, but he did bring a lot of power to the plate, Brady. Sent 8 homers out of the park, 24 RBIs. He's going to be a guy that if he can get hot, he will get hot. As he skies this one into left center field. Ford calling for it, makes the catch. Runners hold for the first out of the inning.
Burke was upset with himself. He knew he had a pitch he could do a lot of damage with, and he just got under it. Just doesn't get under it quite as much. That one may be off the Scott sign in left field.
Brian Schellenbarger steps in, takes a big swing and a miss. Throw down the second from Ugarte off of Will Coxon. Couldn't get done over there.
I don't see that too often at this level of ball. Heck, it's rare you see it at the college or high school level, but pro ball, you very rarely see the catcher try to back pick at second base.
Yeah, it's difficult. And like something you kind of don't pay attention to if you're the runner.
And that is a big secondary lead for Dunn. He is, 40 feet off the base after the ball crosses the plate. If he throws down again, I'm done. I just take off for third.
We'll see what he does here, man. Looks over at second, pitching from the stretch. And going down, swinging at Schellenbarger. Great pitch by Mann to make him chase. Down low inside as he walks over to the dugout for the second out of the inning. First and second, 2 outs. The Hoppers trying to chip away at this deficit with Anthony Flores now, who lined out to Spears on a hard hit ball his last time up. And now we got another pitch clock violation. This time on Flores, not being ready at the 8-second mark.
No, some guys, I mean, it's a big dugout. So if you're not ready to go right away, it's a long walk, and that's usually when we've seen it with the batters is in between at-bats, taking their leisurely stroll, usually to the opposite box. So if you're the home team to the first base side, to the left-handed batter's box, and righties with the away team. And Mann's going to take that 0-2 already.
Yeah, you feel like you got to sprint to home plate. Oh, that's how far do you have to go. That one out of the reach of Spears. Hustling down is done. He's going to score. It's now a 3-run game as Flores gets a 2-out base knock and an RBI.
Very similar contact to his last at-bat. This time, it wasn't right at Spears. He had just a little more elevation on it, put it down the line, and he's rewarded with an RBI for his troubles.
It's 5-2 now. Chris Iazetta struck out swinging to end the first. Gets a piece of that one. Iazetta coming from Wheeling University in Division II. He's from Clinton, New Jersey. Coming at 6'1", 205. Was 1 for 5 in the doubleheader on Saturday. Prior to Wheeling, he played 1 season at Clark Community College. Appeared in 38 games for them. Also played 1 season at Hillsdale.
That is a well-traveled ball player.
He has a lot of history. His father, Carmen, played professional baseball for the Detroit Tigers and the Atlanta Braves.
Ooh, wow, that's a nice pitch from Mann. Get another look. Maybe a tick too high, but yeah, if it missed high, it wasn't by much. That's a heck of a pitch by Mann. I'd be politicking for the next one.
Going down is Iazetta for the 5th third bank out of the game. A good job, but the Hoppers able to get one back. It's now a 5-2 game thanks to the RBI single by Anthony Flores. And now it's time for JJ the Water Boy, sponsored by Michigan First Credit Union. Always making sure our umpires are hydrated and ready to call a great game. Taking a look at him down on the field, going over to the second base umpire, the infield umpire rather.
Oh, how can you not love that? That's worth the price of admission.
Yeah, he does a lot. He gives a lot back to the game, and he...
Look how patient he is. He's so proud. He's ready to do the job. What a good boy.
Very patient. He always looking, always the price of admission to come out here and see him picking up the bats or just helping out the umpires. Look at that. We're going to step aside and we'll be back for the bottom half of the third here on the USPBL Network. Bottom half of the third inning we go here at Jimmy John's Field on this Friday night. A gorgeous night for baseball here in downtown Utica. It's a 5-2 lead for the Beavers over the Hoppers here in the start of week 2 of this 2023 USPBL season. Alex Johnson and Brady Beaton with you on the call here tonight. And it looks like Verbrugge's going to stay on the mound. We were thinking about it was going to be Ethan Young coming into the game, but Coach Kotke is going to stay with him, and he throws that pitch to the backstop. So he's going to roll with him now. Garte grounded out to second his first time up.
And the difference between those two pitches, first one, a fastball away, never had a chance, or the curveball away, never had a chance, or fastball away, then the curveball dropped in perfectly.
He threw another one there. Goes out of play. Garte from Reinhardt University. Another premier NAIA school. A lot of talent in that league of play. In the air, not deep at all. Coming in, making the catch, Brian Schellenbarger. Good communication, as Dunn was over there as well, but he said, I got it, don't worry.
Well, you mentioned NAIA ball, and Alex, I think more than maybe any other sport, and I'm sure there's going to be people that disagree with me, the talent at the lower levels it's not as top heavy. Like, you look at a sport like college football, and that's a sport more predicated on some things you can't coach: size, speed to an extent, athleticism. You get those top teams, and they are head and shoulders above the competition. And as you go down, it's pretty linear. Basketball, kind of the same way. Hockey, a little bit as well. But baseball, you can get some NAIA teams. You can get some JUCO teams that can go head-to-head with big-time, big-name programs because they have talent for one reason or another. You find those diamonds in the rough. You find those under-recruited guys. And the talent pool is more spread out in baseball than maybe any other collegiate sport.
Yeah, being the guy I covered NAIA ball for at Madonna and Lawrence Tech, I'm just covering those teams. There's a lot of good talent, especially down south. Georgia Gwinnett, Reinhardt, Southeastern in Florida, one of the top teams in the country. Good piece of hitting by Judd. Takes a hop over to Dunn. Gets the out, though, to Marcoux. You like the at-bat by Judd there, but going back to NAIA ball, it's so fun to watch, and there's a lot of key players, a lot of talented players, especially down south, and that kind of not get looked as much, as the other guys in Division I or Division II.
Oh, and I'm sure a lot of the players know this, and a lot of the families of players know this, that sometimes it's not necessarily about pure talent. It's about the projectability, if we want to use one of the baseball, the industry terms is. Let's use Jake Wazinski, for example. He's a tall guy. He has a nice frame. He is a very projectable guy.
Wilcoxon flies out to Iazetta to end the inning. The Beavers go down in order. 5-2 lead still for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers as we head to the fourth. We'll step aside here on the USPBL Network. Don't go anywhere.
Why are all these business owners smiling? Because they rely on Tryon to handle difficult and time-consuming HR tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and more. Working with one of the nation's top professional employer organizations provides access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans and Tryon's team of attorneys and HR experts. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
ball game. Start of the 4th inning here in downtown Utica. The Beavers up by 3 as Mann gets back on the bump.
A lot of different ways to enjoy the ballpark here at the USPBL and Jimmy John's Field. Go sit out on the lawn. You have the Chevy Pavilion, but hey, bring a blanket. Not a bad night. Still in the sun out in that right field hill. Not a bad spot at all to enjoy a ball game, whether you're in the grandstands out there with the umbrellas down the left and right field line. Not really a bad view in the park.
Yeah, not a bad seat in the house at all. And they're also waiting for tonight's fireworks show at the end of the game. Make sure the fans are going to tune in for that. Presented by Magna. Fireworks every Friday night here at Jimmy John's Field. After every game for a fireworks spectacular, and with Memorial Day weekend, going to be a busy time. No kids are out of school. Some kids were off today or had a half a day today.
Yeah, a lot of the senior classes saying their goodbyes at the local high schools. So it's the start of summer, Memorial Day weekend, baseball. You're at the ballpark. It's what make people romantic about this sport is, hey, we go through some long winters here in Michigan. And now that the weather's finally broken, hopefully for good, and we can enjoy nights like this for the next handful of months.
Yeah, absolutely. Grabbing a hot dog or some peanuts and enjoying a good ball game. Always fun to come down here. Make sure to stop by to catch a game here this summer here at Jimmy John's Field. Whit Hughes facing a 1-1 count. He fouled out on that high pop-up in the last inning. Actually, it was just in the second inning, rather, but
that knuckle curve has a lot of break to it. The pitch before last had perfectly placed. That one missed a little away, but there is a lot of movement for Ryan Mann in that knuckle curve.
Chases in that one at 87. Throw from Wilcoxon. Nice glove up there by Stubbs.
Flashes the leather a little bit. Heck of a pitch. Gets the jam on the fastball. And all-around effort. Wilcoxon over to Stubbs. That's just a nice, solid play.
That was a difficult play, too. You know, not something easy. As we got a gorgeous sunset over down the third base line, right by the grandstand seats over there.
I believe the kids call it golden hour. And it is a beautiful, picturesque scene here at Jimmy John's Field.
I don't see a cloud in the sky. I don't see anything. It's clear skies, you know. Not too hot. I'm going to mention about 70 degrees at game time. Yes, it's Chris O'Neill here. Gorgeous night here. Mann getting set. Hit softly. Mann gets it. He's going to try to attack him, and he does in the back. Good decision. Was thinking about throwing over to Stubbs, you know, to get the out for sure, but he was trying to form a wall there to get you out. So I'll go down as a 1 unassisted.
And if you don't have to make a throw, don't make a throw. Just make a tag if you can. And Ryan Mann retired 5 of the last 6 batters he's faced. Had some early jitters coming out of the pen, but he's settled in nicely. I've liked what I've seen from number 20 in white.
He's being really confident. It's something we wanted to mention here is to just try to attack the zone, get the first pitch strikes. I try to rely on your secondary pitches. Pup on one hop to Spears, throws it over to Stubbs, and able to get a 1-2-3 inning. Nice inning of work by Ryan Mann, coming out really strong here in the last few innings. We'll be back after this here on the USPBL Network for some more action on the field.
Fifth Third Bank. Yeah, it's a quirky name. But here's the thing, 5/3 equals 166.7%. So we put 166.7% into everything we do. Like automatically getting you your paycheck up to 2 days early. giving you well-deserved extra time to avoid overdraft fees, and helping you borrow from your future self. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
You dreamed of starting a company, not an HR department, but your business has grown fast, and so have the complexities of payroll and taxes, benefits administration, and other HR functions. That's why your business needs a professional employer organization like Tryon Solutions. Tryon provides businesses of all sizes access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
New pitcher for the Hoppers in the bottom of the fourth. Ethan Young comes in relief for the starter for Brugge. Coming in with 3 innings of work. We'll take a look at what Young has to offer here. Coming from Goodrich, Michigan. Played at Moorhead State, Division I school in the Ohio Valley Conference. He appeared in 7 games last season at Moorhead, went 6 innings of work and 5 strikeouts. Also played at Mott Community College in Flint, where he posted a 2-3 record with 36 punch-outs. Look at what he brings to the table. He has a 4-seam fastball, a sinker, a slider, and a splitter. So he has a lot he can offer here. And looking to try to keep this game where it is. It's a 5-2 game. It's a very reasonable deficit. Far from over. We still got a lot of game left, but you want to be able to clean up defensively with those 2 errors they had a couple of innings ago.
Yeah, the first job is to come in, throw strikes, let your defense make some plays behind you. You saw it last inning with Mann, who threw some strikes. It was a nice play by a couple different Beaver defenders, and let your defense work. Brugge did not have his best outing. Got the 1-2-3 inning last time out, but man, really had to labor through those first 2 innings, hoping that you can take what you got out of the 3rd inning and next week transfer it over and say, this is what I want to do all the time.
He's going to face the top of the order. I mentioned the only game for them this week. Chris Davis went too far. 2 walks for him today. Hasn't really had a chance to do much. We'll see what he can do here. And with that 84 miles an hour. He located that one a little too high. 1-1 count. All right, at the heart of the plate. 1-2 on Davis. Davis from Princeton University. This one to right field. Long run for Schellenbarger, sliding, and he makes the catch. What a play. Brian Schellenbarger sliding for it and takes away a base hit from Davis.
And that is an encore performance. Had one like that a week ago. He has mastered that sliding catch, getting used to running over to the foul line and into the corner. Heck of a play by Schellenbarger. Tip of the cap to him.
Yeah, that's a very difficult play. We're thinking of able to hold on to it as Ford pounds this one, but in foul territory.
He was on it all the way. He never wavered. He took a good route to the ball, timed it up perfectly, made it look smooth out there in right field.
He made it look easy. Ford, 1 hop, deep throw from 3rd, not in time. The throw by O'Neal took it on the chopper. Marcoux, the throw was late. And it's going to be an infield single. And that speed is difficult to stop.
I really like the The throw from O'Neal, that's a tough one. You're taking a step back on the backhand. Your momentum's taking you basically in the exact opposite direction from first base. He planted, got all he could, but the speed too much over at first.
On the move, Ford, the throw, the tag, not in time.
I think they said he missed the tag because that throw was about in the perfect spot, and Ford is a little slow to get up. Seems to be all right. I think he wanted to make sure time was called, holding that shoulder a bit.
One-0 count here on Stubbs with the runner in scoring position. Into center. That's going to bloop in for a base hit. Ford will stop at third. Had to hold to see if Iazetta was going to get there, but was too far to get, and putters on the corners.
Didn't get all of it, just a bloop single into first. Not the prettiest hit, but you take them all the same. Took it back up the middle. And now the Beavers cooking again in the fourth. Trying to add more to this 5-2 lead.
One foul on home plate. Take a look at some of the comments we've seen here so far here tonight. Eric Souter watching from White Lake, Michigan, near the Oakland County area. Got some fans rooting for their favorite players, family members, friends. As Schellenbarger gets a second out of the inning on a pop fly. Runners on the corners, 2 outs for Spears. Glad to have you with us. Glad you're enjoying it here on this Friday night here on the USPBL Network. Alex Johnson and Brady Beaton with you for the call. 5-2 in the bottom half of the fourth. On a perfect night here in downtown Utica. Young misses that one high at 76.
Spears looking for his second RBI of the day. Well, he's not going to get it getting plunked by the ball second time. The poor guy has taken one for the team.
And now the pond is full here. No room to put anyone else on. It's like rush hour traffic on Hall Road on a weeknight. Coming home from work and everything. So swinging at the first pitch is Meach. Throw from Pup. Accurate throw in time. And the Beavers leave them loaded. They still have a 5-2 lead over the Hoppers. We're going to step aside and we'll be back for the fifth here on the USPBL Network.
Throughout your life, from big moments to ones well-earned, we're your financial guardian angel. Alliance Catholic Credit Union.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal-getter or dream chaser, an empty nester or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
Welcome back, everyone. It's been a great night so far. Beavers getting back to work. We got the USPBL dance team once again out on the field. Coming out here, they practice, rehearse every day to put on a great show for the fans that come out here every single night on the weekend. It's Mental Health Awareness Night, sponsored by CNS Healthcare. It's also Meet the Hoppers Night. The Hoppers had a chance to interact with fans, talk with the coaches and players, sign autographs, pictures. And we're taking a look at Brian Ross, our new pitcher on the mound for the Beavers. Taking a look at him. He's a guy from Saginaw. Played around at Mid-Michigan College and at Lansing Community College. I went to Swan Valley High School, another Michigan native. There's been a lot of players, from the 4 teams around in the Michigan area, either around here in the Metro Detroit or up in Saginaw, Grand Rapids.
Well, it helps just logistically. You get to stay close to home, you get to be by your family. Chasing the professional ball player dream is tough. It's a little easier when you can take one of your first steps close to home and you don't have to uproot your whole life and move across the country. Now, we have plenty of people, as we've seen from the fans and talking to us, that, yeah, they're watching from all over, but you do get a lot of Michigan players because it's a little easier just to stay close to home while you still play ball.
Yeah, that's a nice thing. When a family comes out and watches them, and what a play. Good catch by Stubbs. Took a few steps to his left for the line out here on a 1 pitch and 1 out to the leadoff man, Chandler Dunn, here in this inning. Looking at the stat line so far, 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Beavers. 2 runs, 3 hits, and 2 miscues for the Hoppers. Those were both back in the 2nd inning. That was that 4 spot that the Beavers put on. And that's been the story so far. Marcoux started off the offense with that ground rule double. And he was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. Takes a chopper foul down to the Hoppers dugout. Ross trying to gain control from his windup. That one at 89 miles per hour.
Like with this camera angle, as from a broadcaster's perspective, kind of see the grip Ross is getting so you have an idea of what pitch is coming.
Looking to throw here, getting himself set. On the ground, off of Wilcoxon and into center. Took an unlucky bounce. Wilcoxon was trying to glove it.
It would have been a heck of a play by Wilcoxon. And it was hard hit by Marcoux. Have to give him his flowers. He squared it up. He's swinging the bat well tonight. 2nd hit of the day for him. And the Diamond Hoppers, hey, we're in the middle innings. Just chop away. You don't have to hit the 3-run home run. Would that be a lot of fun for us? Absolutely. But hey, get a run in the 5th. Hold them and just keep slowly working back. Only 5-2, nothing terribly tough to overcome.
You don't want to try too much. Teams, around the leagues, everywhere at the levels, when they get down like this, you want to try, I got to hit the home run ball. I got to hit one out to the gap. But no, still looking at, we're almost at the halfway point in this game. And down 3 runs. You can work at it here. If you just take quality at bats, they got to take it 1 pitch at a time. Don't want to try to force anything or chase something from the outside. You got to stay disciplined. That's been the name of the game, especially when these guys are trying to develop and get to the next level, because scouts want to see that. Ross not happy about that one. He moved that one a little inside.
Nearly clipped Burke on the check swing. Oh, just had some, looked like a little riding action in.
That one at 88, down the middle. 2-2, the fastball. Burke now 2 for 8 on the season. Lifts this one into left field, and that one is going to be gone. That was a line drive homer off the bat of Joe Burke. His first one of the year, and the Hoppers are right back in it. It's a one-run game just like that.
Shows what we know, saying, hey, take the nice methodical approach. Joe Burke says, yeah, okay, barrels it up, didn't get all of it, hit it to the probably one of the shallower parts of the field, but it just kept carrying, just gets over that left field fence. And the Diamond Hoppers only down a run now, thanks to the power from Joe Burke.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was going to carry out. I don't know if it was going to hit off the top of the wall. It didn't look like it from me. You know, it was kind of like.
Looked like he had the right backspin on it, just kept it in the air, and on a cool night, just carried enough. There's hardly any wind. The flag in center field has been limp all day long, and the backspin kept it up just long enough.
That one hit foul off of Schellenbarger. Like, the height of the wall is not huge.
No, left field's the tallest wall, I'd say, well, probably about 10, 12 feet, and maybe a little less in left field. Bit shorter, and probably only went about 330, 335, but when you hit it in the right spot, hey, you get the round tripper on your stat sheet.
And a 315, you kind of see it at some ballparks. You know, Yankee Stadium was like 314.
It's a very fair ballpark here at Jimmy John's Field. As I guess left field is the short porch, but there's nothing cheap about it.
Schellenbarger goes down swinging for the second time today.
Nothing cheap about the left field fence. There's nothing that is too ridiculous, though, to put it out. Dead center's about 395. I'm guessing if you go a little bit to the right of the foul pole, it may reach 400, but nowhere's unreachable, nowhere's cheap. I think this is about as fair of a ballpark as you will get.
Yeah, there's no like green monster or anything out of the ordinary where you have to hit, 40 feet up, like over in left field. No, it's 395 to center. There's only like a few ballparks that are under 400 to center.
I mean, that's a pretty good poke, don't get me wrong. But some of these guys definitely have the power to do so. It would not be unreasonable to think they could clear the batter's eye in dead center.
And another clip. Flores took that sting. And
he doesn't want to show it, but that one stung a bit. He's taking his time. You could tell just the slight grimace. It did not feel good taking that pitch. He'll get rewarded standing on first, but yeah, that was not the best one.
There's some families and kids watching the game behind home plate, having a great time. Back to a one-run game thanks to the two-run blast. Got some kids looking around. I'm just enjoying the night here. Wearing the Mental Health Awareness Night t-shirt was a giveaway here at the ballpark. Chris Iazetta skies this one into foul territory. Good catch by Spears. Holds on to it to retire the side, but not before the Hoppers get a two-run bomb off the bat of Joe Burke on a line drive to left to make it a one-run game. Getting exciting, folks. You don't want to miss it. We'll be back after this here on the USPBL Network.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank. And some say our business is all about money. But that's an old idea. Because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it. Because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
We build roads, bridges, wind farms, and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers. Our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
Bottom half of the fifth. All of a sudden, it's a one-run game. Joe Burke, a line drive, big fly out to left, and taking a look at the Beavers dugout. Holding out to a one-run lead now. They're coming up to bat to try to build that back up. They're going to be facing a new pitcher for the Hoppers. And taking a look at it, who we have here, it is going to be Nolan Riley. Riley from Augusta, Kansas. Went to school at the University of Arkansas in Fort Smith. His outing on Saturday, he went 1 inning, allowed 2 hits and 2 earned runs in his 5 batters. Also picked up the bat when he was in college. It hit .272 during his time in Arkansas, Fort Smith.
And that's one of the unique quirks about the USPBL. Most leagues, college, you're coming from there, you're going to see a guy 2 or 3 times, especially the starter. When you only play 1 game in a weekend for some of these teams, you might have 4 at-bats and face 4 different pitchers. You might have to get used to different guys, so you can't settle in. You can't make the adjustments. You have 1 at-bat to show what you can do against each of these guys, and that favors the pitchers.
Yeah, that's something we mentioned here. It's something unique, especially how the schedule works out and, kind of different than what you see from the pro level or the minor leagues or even in college. You're only playing 1, maybe 2 games a week. I'll talk about it in just a second as Ugarte takes a first pitch strike. Only games on Friday and Saturday this week. All 4 teams get Sunday and then Memorial Day off. In the past, there have been games on the holiday. Not so this year. Just get some guys some rest and enjoy the time off. Yeah, it's a 1-1 count on Ugarte. Still looking for his first hit in the season. Sends it to the screen. Glad to have you with us on YouTube and Facebook. A lot of the comments here coming in. Glad to have you with us and join your Friday night with us here on the USPBL Network. Alex Johnson and Brady Beaton. That one at 74. With the curveball. One and 2 on Ugarte. Getting into the windup is Riley. And what a pitch. At the top part of the strike zone, Ugarte went for it. Couldn't get anything on it. And it's the first out of the inning.
Just hummed it right by him. Reared back with the fastball, and Ugarte could not catch up, could not make the adjustment. That was a heck of a fastball. That's a nice put-away pitch when you know you can just rear back and blow a guy away with the heater.
It wasn't like totally upstairs. It was either going to be you were going to take the called strike. You got to hit on it. Try to attempt at it. You can't let that one go by. Marcus Judd now 0 for 1 on the day. Working quickly. Got it right at the knees at 86 miles an hour. One-run game, 5-4 in favor of the Beavers. Going behind us, behind the seats. People are trying to get a souvenir.
It's always a fun thrill getting a foul ball or a home run ball at the ballpark.
And especially hard with the netting being so up and to protect the fans' safety.
Yeah, it's a catch-22, no pun intended, because, you want to make sure everyone's safe. So now the only balls that get into the stands are those high pop-ups. Souvenirs are now few and far between.
Check Swain, he went around. Ball dropped, has to throw over to Hughes to Marquette to complete the strikeout. So good work by Riley here.
I really like what I've seen from Nolan Riley coming out of the pen. He's had some really nice stuff, back-to-back strikeouts, and it felt like he's had the hitters off balance. Neither Ugarte or Judd have felt confident in what they were doing in the box. I like what I've seen from 11.
He's been spectacular so far. Faces Ben Wilcoxon. Had a chance to talk with him, before the game. He's been doing really well. I think he's enjoyed his time here, being in Michigan. Coming from Kentucky. He said coming in from Sunday, we got to correct our mistakes, especially the pitching and the defense. As this one rolls over to short pup, goes over to Marquette, and the Beavers will go down 1-2-3 here in this inning. And it's a 5-4 game heading to the 6th inning. So now 5 innings into this game. We've been into another good one. Fans who have come out here, last weekend and here so far have gotten a treat.
Yes, they have, and the Diamond Hoppers have done a good job after giving up 5 in the first 2 innings. They've settled down 3 scoreless since then. Diamond Hoppers just have a knack about them. They know how to just stay within a game. They won the 2 games last week in the extra innings sudden death, and they've done a nice job settling this game down and just chipping away at the lead. But the Beavers still holding on. It's going to be a big 6th inning. See what they get is we'll have another new arm on the mound.
And Alex Rhino warming up to get started here. We're now going to sit it down to the third baseline where Kara Wolfbauer, she's talking with the Beavers head coach, John Dombrowski. Kara, take it away.
It's Kara Wolfbauer here with Beavers manager coach John Dombrowski. Now, Mr. Dombrowski, you guys have left the bases loaded twice now, yet your offense is still performing. You guys are still up today. So tell me about what you've been telling the guys as they step to the plate.
We just got to be able to capitalize. You got to be able to get guys in. So it's just a matter of us executing with guys on base.
And have you talked any strategy with the guys about making those executions and making those plans to get them home?
No, we just let them be their guys. You know what I'm saying? They know what they got to do out there.
Well, you guys, unfortunately, suffered a tough loss last game. How are you guys planning to return today and walk away with the win?
Hopefully, pitching, we're going to throw strikes, execute, and then we're out at the plate. Same thing. Got to get guys on base. Got to score them.
Yes. Thank you so much, Coach. You can go back and do your job now. This is Kara Wolfbauer with Coach John Dombrowski. Thank you so much. Let's get back up to the guys in the booth.
Thanks so much, Kara.
All right.
Always good just to talk with the managers and just see what their insights are, mid-game. What do you think they need to do the rest of the way? And the Beavers, their lead's cut down to 1. The Hoppers have been chipping away. Thanks to the home run by Burke, and then they got another one in the 3rd inning prior to that. So,
yeah, and I think what the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers need to do is start hitting the ball. A lot of their runs really were self-inflicted wounds from the Diamond Hoppers. You look at the scoreline, despite losing, the Diamond Hoppers out hitting the Beavers 5-4. So that tells you it was the walks and the hit batters and the errors that really helped propel the Beavers out in front.
Yeah, absolutely. Only four hits for them so far on the 5 runs. Never really had a lot here, but this is a chance for Eastside to tie this game up. They have 8-9-1 again. That bottom of the order is something that has struggled so far tonight for Coach Kotke's team. 0-2 now on Whit Hughes. Rhino getting set. Missed it down. Rhino having some support, some fans watching from Brazil, Indiana. Went to Franklin College. He went 1 2/3 innings on Sunday against the Unicorns. He allowed 3 hits and a run with a punch out. He also allowed a home run to Chris Davis. And excuse me, Josh Barker of the Unicorns. I beg your pardon. He's run the count full on Whit Hughes. Payoff pitch coming at 73 miles per hour. Chases Whit to go down on that one.
And that's a beauty of a pitch, just dropped right under the bat of Hughes. Got to have a little bit of guts to throw that, confidence in your stuff to go a 3-2, looked like a changeup, dropped right below the bat of Hughes. Confidence not only that the pitch is going to break, but you're going to put it in the right location. Even if Hughes didn't take a hack at it, he would have been going back to the dugout either way.
And that was just such a nasty pitch. I know how it was pertained. That was just tough to hit. Here comes Chris O'Neill. Grounded out to Mann his last time up.
And the bottom of the order for the Diamond Hoppers has really struggled to give their offense anything. 7, 8, 9 right now, a combined 0 for 8 with 4 strikeouts. Beavers pitching's done a really nice job neutralizing the bottom third of the Diamond Hopper order.
And that's been the story, if you want to get those guys stepped up. This one on one hop to Will Coxon. Good throw to Stubbs to get him out. 2 gone here in the 6th. And something Will Coxon talked with me about is cleaning up defensively. And these guys, on Dombrowski's squad, they practice game in and game out and infield drills, making accurate throws, taking your time, not forcing anything, especially if you have a guy who has a lot of speed, a guy like Pup here.
Puck barreled one up his first time up, hasn't had much success since.
Yeah, he started off the game with that leadoff single. I mentioned a guy from Chicago. That's that one outside.
The sidearm delivery from Reinhold can give batters a little bit of fit. Sometimes it's not just the stuff, it's the different arm slot that some guys don't have any problem adjusting to, but others takes a minute.
This one on one play over to Spears, gives it to Stubbs, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Beavers pitching. Alex Rhino comes in and gets the job done. Bottom half of the 6th we go. Step aside here on the USPBL Network. Don't go anywhere.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. fsbcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood, Because strong neighbors mean stronger communities.
Where good neighbors do great things.
Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Make your move with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
Fifth Third Extra Time helps you do you better. So kick back and relax. You have extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Fifth Third Extra Time. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
There are many things you can rely on in this world.
Bottom half of the 6th. Got another pitcher here for the Hoppers. Looking at what we have here coming out. It's going to be Luke Drummond stepping on the bump. He got a start in the second game of the double dip against the Mammoths.
And real quick, Alex, I do just want to go back to the last inning for just a moment. I thought Nolan Riley pitched really well, and it's a good day for him. It's 24th birthday today as well for Nolan. Goes out, gets the 1-2-3 inning. So I pitched pretty well on his birthday. Has to be a pretty good day all around. I just wanted to give him a happy birthday on his 24th. Always nice to have a good performance on your birthday, nothing to ruin it. But now Luke Drummond in to replace him. Wanted to give Nolan Riley his flowers because he did pitch well the inning before, and shame on me for missing that it was his birthday.
Oh, it was a gem of a performance, and I missed that too, but happy birthday, Nolan Riley. You know, my parents watching from home and his grandma also watching today. Saying happy birthday and congratulations to him. Top of the order for Drummond as he steps into the bump. Their game 1 starter, Jacob Wozinski, got signed by the Minnesota Twins earlier this week. We talked about that in the pregame. So there's going to be an extra roster spot that Ryan Kotke is going to fill by Tuesday. We'll see who that is. And especially in this league where guys are coming in and out with the college showcase coming up, and guys who are getting done with their collegiate career for teams coming in, finishing the World Series or regular season in Division I or conference tournament, as those were finishing up this weekend.
And I like the way the USPBL structures it. While it is a developmental league, there's not a ton of turnover. Sometimes at the minor league level, you'll come to a game at one point, you won't get a guy, and you'll get a guy and he won't be there next time you show up.
Out there on this drop third strike. Yeah, like you mentioned, Brady, guys, they come in, when they get signed, they leave, but not like guys that leave during the season to go elsewhere to other summer leagues.
You will have natural turnover, but if you become a fan of a guy for one of these teams, good chance that he'll be around at least for a little while. Once you mention the college showcase happens at the start of June, that's when you start to get the biggest turnover. But besides that, teams are, unless someone gets seriously hurt or gets signed by someone, they're handcuffed at how many moves they can make during the season.
Forward out to center. They're very shallow, and it's caught no problem for the second out. Iazetta has done some good work making the routine play. J.D. Stubbs, 1 for 3 on the evening. Stubbs is another guy Coach Dombrowski praised on. He's another guy from Georgia Gwinnett.
Few guys out of that program in this league. And a lot of, sometimes at this level of pro baseball, the independent level, is connections. Hey, you trust a coach down there, he tells you, I got a guy. You trust him and you bring him through. And I talked about earlier how you have a lot of Michigan guys. sometimes it's easier to make a move when you know you have a guy or two coming and you're not just showing up as a complete stranger to everybody.
Yeah, having those connections work, especially down there, and having guys come up here. And Stubbs is also a guy that leads by example. He's a guy that will come in early to work out before the game, start prepping, and mentors the younger guys. You know, hey, if you want to be able to be at this kind of level, you got to show up hours before. You know, you're going to the batting cage, you're getting warmed up. That's something he talked about me before the game last Sunday against the Unicorns. Now he just is a very talented player, but he goes down swinging that time. But nonetheless, a very great player, a guy that works hard day in and day out. That was a 1-2-3 inning. We're heading to the 7th, folks. 5-4 game. Stay tuned. We'll be back on the USPBL Network.
There are many things you can rely on in this world, like a sunny day brightening your mood, your mom baking the world's best apple pie, and never a dull moment in running your business. And when it comes to time-consuming HR tasks, you can rely on Tryon. Tryon can handle payroll and taxes, employee benefits, and more, so you can stay focused on attracting and retaining the best talent. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
What makes Detroit Mercy so unique is the fact that it's in the middle of Detroit, and especially with their service learning programs, you really get a chance to be a part of the community.
Detroit Mercy. Build a boundless future.
Top of the 7th, a new pitcher once again for the Beavers. Coming in is Jesse Galindo, making his first appearance, and he's from Burbank, California. Standing at 6 feet, 200 pounds. Did not pitch on Sunday as he was out at his sister's wedding the prior weekend.
Pretty good reason to miss a ball game, I guess.
He's coming out here, getting his first appearance, looking to come out strong. And looking at for him as a guy that from the west side of the country, in Division II, a guy that's very competitive, that will throw a lot of strikes. And looking at his stat line last season, ERA was about 3.5, had 22 appearances, and 41 in the third innings, 30 strikeouts to 9 walks. So he has a really good strikeout to walk ratio. His favorite team is the Los Angeles Dodgers. Always a very talented program. Team that won the World Series a few years ago.
Galindo and presumably a couple other Beavers pitchers get a chance to work some high-pressure innings. Still 5-4 after what was kind of a wild first 3 innings. Settled down outside of the home run. No one else has pushed across a run in the middle innings. Now entering the back third. See if either offense can get going as it's cooled off a bit here at Jimmy John's Field.
Yeah, it is. The offense has kind of cooled off a bit. Now the sun's about to go down. So we'll see what happens here in this final third.
Another guy with that 3/4 basically sidearm slot in Galindo. On a righty-righty matchup, that can be tough.
Count at 1-2. Done 0 for 1. Couple of walks for him today. Chopper, Wilcoxon to Stubbs. That took like a hot, it was up in the air for a couple seconds.
And Galindo, he's using the arm slot as a tool. The second to last pitch was a little more over the top. The pitch that Dunn grounded out on, that was almost completely sidearm. Being able to use the arm slot as a tool, because when the harder you throw and the higher level you get, the more important it is to read the pitch out of the hand. And if you don't know the precise spot to look, that makes life a lot harder on the hitter.
Yeah, find what he does here, Galindo, with that slot in his arm, like you mentioned. Marcoux, he's had a good night. 2 for 2 for him. He's been one of the bright spots here this evening. Galindo with that sidearm. It's now 2-1.
With that sidearm, the fastball, you saw on the last pitch, it has that big tailing action.
Gets the outside part of the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was at 75 miles an hour. Into his motion. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 3.
So the guys coming out of the pen for both sides have been very solid, starting to rack up the strikeout numbers. And you look at the Diamond Hoppers, since the home run, haven't recorded a hit. The only batter to reach was Flores when he was plunked. But the Beavers bullpen has done an excellent job. 7 of the last 8 batters retired since the home run.
7 punch-outs by the Beavers pitching staff since then. 7 strikeouts overall, and you mentioned the one guy reaching base was Flores of the home run, and Brian Camacho warming up for the Beavers in the bullpen. Holding on to this 1-run lead. 1-2 here. You're in the top half of the 7th inning, 2 outs. Hoppers down 1. And a swing and a miss. Galindo takes the Hoppers down in order. And they hold on to this 1-run lead. It's time to stretch, folks. We'll be back here on the USPBL Network after the 7th inning stretch. Taking a look at the Beavers dugout here in the bottom of the 7th inning, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Genesee's Credit Union, for sponsoring tonight's Take Me Out to the Ball game. Getting the fans out off their seats and getting excited. They just had a t-shirt toss.
Yeah, if you can make it down to Jimmy John's Field, I will tell you this, there is not a dull moment around. It's a first-class job here that they do at Jimmy John's Field. Something for everyone here at the ballpark. I haven't met anyone that's come to the ballpark and just went, it's okay. It's always been pretty positive reviews.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great for baseball fans to come out and watch these guys. Great for families and kids playing the wiffle ball, the other activities, kids running the bases. And a base hit up the middle by Malik Bolin to start off the bottom half of the 7th. First knock for him. And it was just right up the gut. Especially now with the defenders.
That's the first hit in 10 batters for the Beavers. I really liked what Luke Drummond did last inning. He gets ambushed to start the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, it's also difficult, especially now with the defensive changes that have been put in this season. 2 guys have to be on each side of the infield. Just a lot of gap space up the middle. Good play, but it was, O'Neal couldn't get to it. Couldn't get the out.
See what they score this. They do give the error.
Yeah, that just...
He played himself into it a bit. His initial instinct was to charge, but just the way, the trajectory of the bounce, he charged in. Ugarte 0 for 3. Runners on second and third. Get a new guy in there. Hey, hit a ground ball while the infield playing in could cut it down, but get it to the outfield, drive in a run, get a sac fly, and what could be your only at-bat.
He only got 1 appearance on Sunday. He's from Murray State. He's another Grand Rapids guy. Hit nearly 300 his senior year of college. Goes down again, so back-to-back strikeouts for Drummond.
And big strikeouts, too. You give up the single and then the error and the wild pitch puts guys in scoring position, and you get back-to-back strikeouts. Take matters into your own hands.
And now Coach Dombrowski's going to get another guy in to step in for Marcus Judd, this time with Shoma Yoshida. Takes a big rip on that one.
Was not going to get cheated in that first swing. That was a heck of a hack from Yoshida. He was trying to clear the bases.
Just feeling it off the swing. He did it again.
That's a violent swing. It looks like he's trying to hurt the baseball. Like he has a personal vendetta against it.
He's trying to pound it to those gaps, either in left or right center. It's it on the ground. Dunn over to Marcoux. And the Hoppers get out of a jam. The Beavers had the runners on second and third. Nobody out. And they can't capitalize on it. We're still a 1-run game, folks, heading to the 8th. We'll be back here on the USPBL Network.
At Ascension, Michigan, we're committed to being your first choice for healthcare. Our nationally recognized heart program is the leader throughout Michigan in minimally invasive heart valve procedures. For joint replacement, spine, and cancer care, patients choose our specialists for advanced care and treatment. And we also excel in the things that can't be measured. Listening more closely, caring more compassionately.
Companies are competing for talent like never before. With the complexities of handling tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and other HR functions, it's easy to see how a professional employer organization like Tryon Solutions makes all the difference. Tryon empowers businesses of all sizes to attract and retain talent by offering access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Brian Camacho comes in for the Beavers to start the 8th. Unfortunate for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, having 2 runners on in the last inning. Couldn't get any insurance to go through, and they're going to have to rely on their defense now.
Well, they've been able to rely on their pitching. You look at what they've done since the home run, and it has been, well, lights out. Since the home run, they've retired 9 of 10 with 4 strikeouts in that span. No balls hit to the outfield, and it's been, what, 4 different pitchers? Now 4 different pitchers in this stretch, and they've all carried the torch well.
Yeah, they have them. something that Coach Dombrowski talked to me about. No, he said it to me a lot. If we don't play well defensively, and if guys make mistakes, throwing pitches, either throwing down the heart of the plate or mislocating a pitch, it's going to be a long night. And the Beavers have responded. Coming out from Sunday, they allowed 8 runs.
Right. And it looked to be a lot of the same when the leadoff batter gets on, comes around to score. You have a ground rule double. You get out of the first inning and you go, "Ooh, wow, that could have been a lot worse." And then it settles down, and outside of the 1-2-run home run, they haven't really had a lot of issues with the pitching since.
Yeah. Looking at both teams with only 5 hits tonight, but the Diamond Hoppers have made 3 mistakes. That's been the difference so far, but it's only a 1-run game. You hardly see a team make 3 errors, and it's only a 1-run game as a good pace hit by Brian Schellenberger.
That is a strong young man that just ripped that single into center field. I wish we would have I would have liked to see the exit velocity on that pitch, on that hit, because he absolutely tattooed it.
Camacho, the location was good, but Schellenberger.
That was low and in, but the old cliche, lefties like it low and in. They like to turn on it.
That's been the story here for those kind of guys coming in. Anthony Flores now had an RBI single. Look at some of the comments. Mia Bishop-Jones says Jimmy John's Field definitely does it first class. Very nice stadium. Let's look at some other comments here we've been seeing throughout the broadcast. There's other guys just looking at it here. Well, thank you guys for all the support here for us here on the USPBL network. I'm glad to have you with us here this evening. It's been another great game. Day 3 of the season and game 4 overall on the schedule. Last Friday's game got postponed. It was supposed to be the Beavers and the Unicorns rematch of last year's USPBL championship, but the rain postponed that game to an undetermined date right now. But still, we've got a lot of great baseball. Fans just to come out and enjoy some time at the ballpark. Have kids something to do, or just spend a night out. Wilcoxon off his glove, making the play, trying to get the force out at second. They do. Good recovery by Yoshida.
Did a great job, Wilcoxon. That was the effort, just to lay out. Didn't get it in the glove, but what that did is it forced the runner, Schellenberger, at first. He had to freeze, because if he keeps going and Wilcoxon brings in, he's doubled off. So he was caught between a rock and a hard place, but Yoshida did a nice job sticking with it, as you said, and the 6-4-6 put out gets the first out of the inning.
Go down as a fielder's choice, and that was a good backup by Yoshida to just get on it. Wilcoxon, that would have been a great of a play, stretching out for it. He's had a few chances here tonight. Inside to the backstop. Flores gets the second, no problem.
Seen the ball pop out of the catcher's mitt a few times. This time, it is the new catcher in for the Beavers, Alex Crump.
Yeah, he came in for Ugarte last inning.
And I feel more than any other position, coming in as a catcher cold has to be the toughest spot. Maybe first base, but you're sitting on the bench the whole time, and now you're expected to catch.
No throw over to third, and now Flores is 90 feet from home.
He stole that one on the pitcher. Camacho with the big leg kick.
I don't think they were paying attention to him. He was just...
Now the infield comes in. They want to cut down the insurance run on third, or excuse me, the tying run on third.
You're looking for a sac fly here. And now we got a pitch clock violation.
I believe it'll be on the pitcher?
Yes, on Camacho. So it's 3-1 now. So you're looking here, if your eye is out, a sac fly.
Let's get it in the air.
Yeah, take some swing and the miss.
That's what he was trying to do it with that pitch. He wasn't trying to pound it into the ground. He was trying to get that airborne.
You want to send it deep enough. Well, the outfielders are they're standing in their normal spots out there. Payoff pitch, and he lost him. Puts the runners on the corners, but a chance to get the double play.
I believe we will get a substitution here.
Yes.
Looks like Taj Porter coming in.
Taj Porter, the only player left on the bench for Ryan Cockey.
The lone switch hitter in the league. But because there's only one lefty, for all intents and purposes, he's a left-handed batter.
Good stop by Crump at home plate as Flores is forced to go back.
Taj Porter, a strong body from the left side. He runs into one. Got a nice swing. Can find a gap, possibly take the lead here in the 8th.
From Louisiana. Now on the move. Now going home. Flores ties the game. Iazetta goes to third. The Hoppers fool the Beavers. Where the throw? Crump missed the throw. As Iazetta stole second, he reaches to third. Flores scores, and now it's a tie game and a chance to take the lead.
And how quickly the feel of the game can change from trying to preserve the lead to now making sure you're not trailing in the late innings.
Tie ball game. First time we've seen that since the Beavers tied it up in the bottom of the first. So advancing to third.
That was I thought that was ball 4. Me and Tosh had the same thought.
Yeah, so 3-1 now. So it's a stolen base and an error on the play. He reaching the third. Porter, and he was looked like he was going to swing, but did not go fully around. So he will take his base.
Next up for the Hoppers, the third baseman, number 14,
Chris O'Neill. Had some unfortunate plays defensively at the unlucky bounce in the infield, and then popped out of his glove with that foul ball. Trying to redeem himself here with a base hit.
A lot of people will forget about his earlier transgressions in the field and at the plate. If he gets a base knock here, gives the Diamond Hoppers the lead, well, suddenly all is good in the world in the Diamond Hopper dugout.
A great chance with runners on first and third. Only one out, 1-0 count. 5-5 game. At the knees by Camacho. Camacho from Puerto Rico. Played at Fairmount State University in Division II in West Virginia. A guy that had an ERA under 4.5 and trying to find his command. The Beavers We talked about them being strong in the bullpen, and Camacho allowed the tying run, trying to keep it that way, but with only one out and down in the count. And you just missed that one. 3 balls and 1 strike on that 86-mile-per-hour pitch. O'Neill getting focused in the box, and he'll get a free pass.
3 straight walks. Bases are juiced. And while it is nice you get everyone work out of the bullpen for the Beavers, when it goes south, hey, you're leaving Camacho out there because he is the 6th pitcher that the Beavers have used, and on their roster they have 8 total. So there's not a whole lot of room to work. They have some action in the bullpen, but you kind of get an inning, and John Dombrowski saying, this is your inning. Do what you can with it. You can make it quick, 1, 2, 3, or you can make yourself really work. And Camacho's had to work, and the Diamond Hoppers look primed to take the lead here in the 8th.
We'll see what they can do here. They struggled earlier with runners in scoring position. They had some opportunities back in the first inning when they had that chance, when they got that 1 run. But assistant coach Frankie Luska was just talking over with him. He's a guy that also brings a lot of experience to the table. Another Michigan guy, Garden City, went to Madonna University. He's been through these kind of situations. He wasn't a pitcher, but he's worked with a lot of guys, just telling them, hey, just stay calm, relax, you got this.
And whatever he did tell him's work. 2 beautiful pitches on the inside part of the plate. Exactly what he needs with the top of the order at the plate.
Want to be ahead in the count. It's tough falling behind. Crump made another good stop.
You notice the middle infield has returned to double play depth. Pup has some speed. The ball hit hard enough to a middle infielder. You still have the opportunity to turn 2.
That's what they're looking for here. It's 1-2 count. Pup 1 for 4 here today. Sends that one foul. Guy coming from, we mentioned, from the Windy City. I mentioned it a few times throughout the year. Favorite team is the Chicago Cubs, and enjoys watching Javier Baez. Now on to Detroit Tigers. In the air, center field. Ford under it. Makes the catch. Runners on the move. The throw is cut off. And the Diamond Hoppers have taken the lead back thanks to the sac fly by Alex Pup. Chris Iazetta scores.
Alex Pup did the job. Fly ball deep enough to center field. And Ford, I'll say pretty wisely, decided not to try and gun the runner down. Keep runners at first and second, because that deep, listen, that would be a heck of a throw to get him out at the plate, and that looks like it'll be the end of the day for Camacho.
So he's going to go to the bullpen. Coach Dombrowski going to have a new pitcher here. It's a 6-5 game. The Diamond Hoppers have taken the lead back thanks to 2 runs of their own to get back in the driver's seat. We'll step aside for a second. We'll be back. Oh, sorry. We're going to actually stay here for you here. So we're going to stay with you, I beg your pardon, with the pitching change.
7th pitcher of the day coming in for the Beavers.
So we're going to have a new pitcher. It's going to be John Bucalaire. John Bucalaire, a guy from Madonna University, was teammates with Frankie Luska. looking to bounce back in his inning he pitched. Also allowed a home run to Baker of the Unicorns.
His job is to keep the deficit right where it's at. He'll have to face Chandler Dunn. Hasn't recorded a hit today. Bucalaire trying to get him out of the 8th and give his team a chance in the 9th. Or in the bottom of the 8th, rather. And hopefully, if his bats can pick him up, give them a lead going into the 9th.
Looking at what he brings, he has a great fastball and a slider. He did really well in spring training. And he's a guy that, coming out of the pen, is going to be very crucial to this Beavers team this year. And the fans have they did really well here, enjoying this one here tonight. A great time here. So runners on first and second. Going to be Chandler Dunn here. Oh for 2 today. Grounded out to short his last time up. Bucalaire, first pitch at 91. Missed it up in the zone.
And just get yourself out of the inning. Give your team a chance. You've already surrendered the lead. You don't want the Diamond Hoppers to add anything on top of it.
Missed inside at 91 again. 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Sac fly by Alex Pup to give the Hoppers the lead. Bucalaire looking over at second. Not gets to do his motion. That's got a piece of it. No momentum has gone to the Hoppers. Something they really haven't had a lot of since that first inning.
Well, you had a run of pitchers with Mann, Ross, Reinhold, Galindo that all I thought pitched pretty well. There was a mistake here or there. Obviously, the home run in the 5th didn't help things, but again, it wasn't like it was crushed. It was one that went about 330. You hit it to center field. It's a lazy fly ball. I thought the Beavers bullpen had done a really nice job until this inning.
Yeah, it's been a different story. Well, this is the 7th man to come up to bat for the Hoppers. 2-2 count, and good job by Bucalaire to get out of it. Dunn goes down swinging, but not before the Hoppers take the lead back. Or we step it aside. We'll see if the Beavers respond here on the USPBL network.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank, and some say our business is all about money, but that's an old idea. Because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it, because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
Bottom half of the 8th inning, the Hoppers are back in control, up 6-5 over the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. And a gorgeous night for baseball here on this Friday night at Jimmy John's Field in downtown Utica. The fans are enjoying it here. Alex Johnson, Brady Beaton with you here tonight. Chris Kelly, the new pitcher for the Hoppers, looking to pull off the Beavers batters here. And this has been a great outing. Got a doubleheader tomorrow. Tomorrow's country music night. The Utica Unicorns will have a double dip with the Westside Wally Mammoths. It'll be the final game of this weekend. Again, no games on Sunday or Monday. There's been no games in the past on holidays, Memorial Day, July 4th, and Labor Day in the past, but
well, especially Memorial Day. That's a weekend, like I said earlier in the broadcast, it's the unofficial start of summer, and with the weather we're going to have, I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be making their way a few hours north and finding a spot to get away for a little bit, because it was a long winter and a cold spring, and yeah, it's going to be a good time to get away. And well, before that part, we'll enjoy a ball game or two tomorrow.
Yeah, make sure to tune in if you're going on a road trip or just hanging out at a barbecue with your family. Going to be a good one tomorrow as well. Everything is a great time here at the ballpark. Don't want to miss any of the action. And I'd like to thank all the fans, tuning in tonight, rooting for their teams. A lot of compliments in the chat about the broadcast. It wouldn't be possible if everyone, working from the camera operators to our producer. It's everyone who makes this possible. This is going to be the 9-1 and 2 hitters for the Beavers. Ben Wilcoxon to lead it off.
Chris Kelly, another tall pitcher for the Diamond Hoppers. It's funny. Basically, the entire Diamond Hoppers has a height requirement. Seems like if you're not 6'1" or 2 or taller, it's going to be pretty tough to get on the Diamond Hoppers roster. I mean, you look up and down their pitching staff. Jake Wazinski was a part of it. He was 6'8". Then you have Kelly, one of a few 6'5" players. A lot of tall guys.
Pup couldn't get the sliding play as that one goes into left center. A leadoff single for Wilcoxon.
Leadoff single from the 9-hole hitter, down a run in the 8th. Well, couldn't ask for anything more if you're the manager. Get your guy on, get some of your best hitters coming to the plate. Chris Davis yet to record a hit today, but he's had some healthy hacks.
Yeah, the Hoppers have kept him in check. We were wondering what he was going to do, how he was going to respond, after that huge game on Sunday. The 2 home runs, 4 runs driven in, a double. And he was the star of the show on Sunday, despite the loss. And Kara Wolfbauer talked with him before the game. She had a chance to talk with him and about that performance, and he's come back. He's done really well in the offseason. He's gotten better, gotten stronger, and that's what we'd like to see from a guy like him.
The leadoff man on, and Davis is a guy that can find a gap, playing him slightly to pull. He can take one the other way. A lot of green in left center.
He's a guy that can hit to all fields, and that's something that made him special on Sunday. His home run was to left center. His other one was to right center. And he's able to read. He's able to read where he wants to hit the ball. He knows where the gaps are. So he knows where those locations are on the field, and that's something that's important.
And Kelly, the game plan to Davis has been away, 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 away. Not putting anything in the wheelhouse for Chris Davis.
That's something the Unicorns struggled with him on Sunday, and the Hoppers did their homework, not giving him anything easy.
Then after away, try to bust him in with a low and in curveball. All Davis can do is spoil it away.
Got to do everything to stay alive. You know, you're down to your final 6 outs. Now pitching from the stretch is Kelly. That one's dropped. Good stop by Porter. Bottom half of the 8th. It's a full count here on Chris Davis. And he goes down swinging. That is a huge out. Chris Davis hasn't had a chance to get anything on the ball. Now Travius Ford will have a chance.
That's a big out, number 1. You get a dangerous hitter to go down swinging. Calms the waters a bit after the leadoff single. Doesn't get any easier to get to the meat of this lineup.
Grounded to third, could be 2. O'Neal to 1. Relay in time for the double play. The 5-4-3 done over to Marcoux. And it's a twin-killing double play to end the 8th. The Hoppers have the lead. We'll be back for the 9th here on the USPBL Network.
We build roads, bridges, wind farms and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers. Our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal getter or dream chaser, an empty nester or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
Top of the 9th inning.
Hoppers
prospect up 1. The Beavers with that double play that ended the inning. Could be the last inning of play here, but that was just so huge by O'Neal to turn that double play and to get out of it. And now it's up to Bucalaire to keep the score where it is and to have the Beavers have a chance to tie it or win it in the bottom half of the 9th. So far, all these games so far have been decided by 2 runs or less up to this point. Keeps these games competitive, fans into it, on the edge of your seat.
And Bucalaire's job is to keep it that close, interesting game. Has to face the heart of the order here in the 9th. His job to make sure it stays 6-5.
The 3-4-5, Marcoux, Burke, and Schellenbarger here in this inning. 1-1 count. It's the ends. It's a bottom inside corner. 1-2 at 75 miles an hour.
That was a nice pitch to get ahead in the count.
Missed upstairs, 2-2, and 91 on the fastball. Blair got out of that jam. Sticking on, just before the pitch clock expired to call time. It's going to reset. 2-2 pitch. Sends it out of play.
It's a very interesting stretch from Buclair. I mean, that is a deep squat he gets into. He's at a 90-degree angle as he gets the sign before he comes up, and then he stands straight up and down.
Yeah, it's difficult as this one goes to the backstop off the glove of Crump.
As a reliever, you can get away with that a little more. You're only throwing, let's say at most 30, 35 pitches. But if you're a starter and they're asking him if he ever has to go long in a game, that's a lot of squats to do if you're throwing 50, 60, 70 pitches in a given outing. But as a reliever, you can kind of get away with something funky like that.
Missed him. Just missed him, and the leadoff man is on again. Yeah, that being down there, squatting all that time, pitch after pitch, it causes you to get tired, especially on the ankles and knees, being in that position.
I have to imagine he's done it his whole life, get comfortable with it, but it's definitely a unique way to get the sign. Oh.
Burke is down.
I got him on the hand.
And he is down in some pain. Ryan Kottke is going to come over and take a look at him.
That's never good when he gets hit on the hand, because it has nowhere to go. There's no give. You have the bat right there. Yeah, and he checked his swing. That looked, ooh, yeah, that caught him flush on the hand. Hopefully, it's more scary than anything. But yet another hit batter in this contest.
And we've seen a lot of those here tonight, and very unfortunate. Burke seems, he's looking over here with the medical staff and the coach, the skipper.
The problem is, I don't know if there's anyone on the bench for the Diamond Hoppers.
Well, we're going to take a break for a second. We'll be back after this here on the USPBL Network.
They call me Prospects. Since the day I was born as a diver's watch, the challengers of the world have taught me many things. Life is not a numbers game. It's about challenging ourselves. No matter what happens, just follow your heart. These pioneers drive our generation forward. Not by setting records, but by never giving up. Keep going forward. Prospects.
Available at Lucido Fine Jewelry.
Welcome back here in the ninth inning. Joe Burke was coming off and then a hit by pitch on that hand.
You can see it looks a little swollen on the view we see. And if he comes off, see who they have coming in to replace him.
It's going to be Todd Maddox who's going to pinch run. He originally was supposed to start at third.
So not only is Maddox going into run, luckily for the Diamond Hoppers, I guess is lucky as you can say in this situation. The silver lining is Burke was the designated hitter, so you don't have to worry about rearranging your defense for the bottom of the ninth. Hopefully Burke's all right, but it's always scary taking a ball off the hand.
Yeah, that reaction was just, that one hurt, but able to walk over, trying to walk it off, especially coming at you 90 miles an hour.
Buclair keeps missing in that same spot in on the right-handed batter's box. I guess to the lefty, Schnellenbarger away.
Trying to chase him over there. He doesn't, and he's now behind in the count. 3-0.
Diamond Hoppers looking for all the insurance they can get in the top half of the ninth. And a walk and a hit batter, that's a good way to get a couple runners on. Get some action on the base paths.
The 3-0. Outside part of the plate, 3-1 at 88 miles an hour. He's getting set again. And he missed him upstairs and away. And the bases are loaded once again for the Hoppers. And still nobody out. Anthony Flores. Reach base on that fielder's choice. His last time up. Stole a base.
Oh, at a pitch clock violation. Flores taking a sweet time getting to the box. And, well, Bucalaire right now needs all the help he can get. Starting off 0-1. Maybe settles him down.
Infield in. It goes away. Crump loses it. A run scores. Marcoux gets the insurance run. Everyone moves up 90 feet. And it's now 7-5 Hoppers.
And it doesn't look like the Diamond Hoppers are stopping anytime soon. They really haven't had to do much. They just had to sit by and, well, take the opportunities that were presented to them on a platter.
Only 6 hits for both teams, looking at the score. And some of the mistakes that the Beavers have had, and we mentioned it throughout the show and throughout the game, and if you make those kind of mistakes, the other team will capitalize on them, and that's what the Hoppers have done last few innings. Popped up, first base side, Stubbs calling for it, makes the catch in foul ground. That was an easy can of corn for him.
The last 2 innings, there have been 6 walked or hit batters by the Beavers pitching, and we saw it earlier in the game. The second inning when the Beavers put up 4 runs, it was because of walks, hit batters, errors. And now in the 9th, the Diamond Hoppers adding on to the lead they got in the 8th. Why? Because of walks, hit batters, and not a lot of errors, but a wild pitch. Just miscues, I guess is the broad term you can use to put under the umbrella of why the Diamond Hoppers are on top, taking advantage of the Beavers' miscues.
And the Beavers, they were harping on, hey, we're going to make those corrections, from Sunday, especially in that inning where we let the Unicorns take it away. And, it's still early on. This is only their second game, on this season. And it's a long season to go for these guys throughout the summer. Tipped into the glove for strike 2.
Zeta was taking a full swing at that one. Up 2-0 in the count, saw a pitch he liked. He was not going to get cheated.
It's 2-1 rather. I thought it was 2-1 already. Bucalaire from the stretch. Now it's 2-2. Our fireworks show at the end of the game, sponsored by Magna. Every Friday night here at the ballpark. It's been a great game. Hoppers now up 7-5 with 1 out here in the 9th. And Bucalaire gets Iazetta to go down swinging. Taj Porter, he pinched hit for Hughes in the last inning. Reached on base on a base on balls.
It was a 5-pitch walk, and even the strike wasn't a very good pitch to hit. So I'm sure he's itching to let one rip here in the 9th.
Get more insurance.
Probably didn't think he'd get a second at bat. Going to try to make the most of it. But now another miss to Porter. That's got to be frustrating for the young man in that left-handed batter's box.
ahead in the count, has 2 runners in scoring position. Would feel pretty good if he can get one through, get at least a run, maybe both, if he locates it perfectly. Outside 3-0 at 85 miles an hour. Hopper's up 2. Hit slowly on the ground to second. Good play as Yoshima throws it over to Stubbs for the out. Last call for the Beavers, down 7-5. We'll be back on the USPBL Network.
They call me Prospects. Since the day I was born as a diver's watch, the challengers of the world have taught me many things. Life is not a numbers game. It's about challenging ourselves. No matter what happens, just follow your heart. These pioneers drive our generation forward, not by setting records, but by never giving up. Keep going forward. Prospects.
Available at Lucido Fine Jewelry.
One thing that makes Detroit Mercy unique and different from other universities is that the faculty truly care about you and they're always there to help. Whether it's asking questions after class or going into the office hours, they're always there to lend a hand and really make you feel at home.
People are here to work together, and whether you have a question or you're discussing topics within the class, you can go up to your professor and they know your name. They're just willing to help you become a better overall student.
Detroit Mercy. Build a boundless future.
Last call for the Beavers here in the bottom of the 9th. Here on Mental Health Awareness Night, sponsored by CNS Healthcare, as well as Meet the Hoppers Night. The Hoppers wearing their special uniforms here tonight. Strikeout stigma. And the Beavers looking to get a rally here. And we're going to have Brett Irwin on the mound to close it out. It's been a good one.
Fans on the edge of their seat tonight, waiting for the conclusion of this game.
And they're waiting for the fireworks show. Looks like we have a rally hoodie. No, kind of creative to the rally cap. Get ready for the fireworks show, sponsored by Magna at the end of this game. Irwin trying to close the door. From Fairfield, California, went to the University of Maine. Also played at UC Davis. He got the victory in game 1. He had 2 strikeouts, an inning pitched. Has a 4-seam fastball, 2-seam changeup, and a slurve. Spent time last year with the Rocky Mountain Vibes of the Pioneer League.
Stubbs' job, get on base. Get the tying run to the plate, especially with the middle of the order. Know there can be a little bit of pop in those bats. Give your team an opportunity that one swing of the bat can tie this game up.
He's a guy that you can rely on here. 3, 4, 5. The part of the order you want to see. So Stubbs, 1 for 4 today, had a single in the 4th. Irwin trying to slam the door as he sends that one foul at 91 miles an hour. Stubbs from Fort Pierce, Florida. Got the outer edge, 0-2 at 92.
I like the way Irwin is attacking. Not dipping his toes into the water. He's going right after leadoff hitter in the 9th.
0-2 pitch, reaching out. Down the hot corner, but foul.
That was just a spoil it swing. Didn't like it, stuck the bat out, got the barrel on it.
Got to do what you can. Stay alive. Irwin getting into his windup. 0-2 pitch coming. Just missed.
Porter even held it there for an extra half second. Tried to sell it. Home plate umpire was not having it.
That could have gone either way. And he goes down once again. Second time. Stubbs has been struck out. Malik Bolin comes up now at a single to left to start the 7th. Swings at the first pitch. And this one drops in the right center. Tying run comes to the plate now.
Get on any way you can. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent, doesn't matter. It's a base hit for Bolin, and that means Spears is the tying run.
Tremaine Spears, 1 for 2 today. The Beavers trying to rally. 1 on and 1 out. First pitch in the top part of the zone for a strike.
But no doubles look from the defense, playing deep and off the line. Trying to take away anything in the gaps, not allow the runner from first Bolin to score.
The 1-0, actually the 0-1 rather, gets the outside corner at 82.
Irwin's done a nice job. Gives up the single, not phased, coming right back to it.
On that changeup, a little bit of off speed. He was hitting 90, 92. That one at 82. 0-2 pitch. Missed upstairs.
Right idea, trying to see if you can get him to chase something up the ladder. But when it's above eye level, you're not going to get any batters to swing at that. I like the idea, don't like the execution.
1-2 pitch coming. Called out on strikes. Tremaine Spears stunned at the call. And last chance here. David Meach trying to keep this game alive.
And you look at the score, 7-6. That's the same amount of hits. We've had 13 runs, 13 hits. But between walks and hit batters, between both teams, 16 total free passes giving up. 10 by the Beavers and 6 by the Diamond Hoppers.
Wow.
And a majority of those all came in the first couple of innings when the Beavers scored a lot of their runs. But opening weekend, especially for the Diamond Hoppers, was pretty cleanly played. This looks more akin to what you'd expect in an early season game. Struggling to find the zone, hitting some batters, and just too many free passes from both sides.
Yeah, like you mentioned, 16 combined. Well, something they want to clean up early on, as now the Beavers are down to their last strike.
And the Beavers haven't pushed across the run since that 4-run second inning. Could not find a way to add to that lead at all.
Yeah, they've been held quiet. Now 1 strike left for them. The 0-2 pitch just got a piece. They had that early lead, and the Hoppers, slowly but surely gained momentum, and just like that, Irwin 1 strike away. 0-2 pitch. Check swing.
Oh,
man. Irwin was walking off, going to celebrate, but not so.
They were about to start lighting off the fireworks in center field. Even if he didn't go, which I thought he did, it was a pretty good-looking pitch, even if he did hold up. Wow.
We'll try again with the 1-2. That one goes to the backstop.
Isn't that how that always goes? You think you have strike three, and the next pitch is wild, moves the guy into scoring position. But, man, even getting another look at that pitch, that was belt high on the black. That looked like the perfect final pitch.
Yes, it did. And Irwin was not happy about it, but there's another chance here. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And the Hoppers have climbed back to stay perfect in this young 2023 season and take down the Beavers 7-5 here in this one. What a performance all around. Joe Burke had that home run, and then they got back to take the lead in the 8th, got an insurance run in the 9th. Overall, excellent performance by the Hoppers.
Yep, absolutely, and they battled back like the resolve of this Diamond Hopper team.
We're going to step aside for a moment. We'll give our post-game thoughts when we come back here on the USPBL network. Hoppers win 7-5 over the Beavers. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere.
Diamond Hoppers, ain't too many of the teams can defeat us. You on the sideline, warming up the benches. Need a lesson, I can show you, I can teach ya. You see a Diamond Hopper fan, point 'em out. 8, fly ball, catch a frog, walk it out. 8, every time we score, I'm throwing up my diamond. Both hands in the air, same time, and let's rock. Diamond Hoppers, Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Diamond Hoppers, we the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Diamond Hoppers, Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Diamond Hoppers, we the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Diamond Hoppers, Diamond Hoppers, we the Diamond Hoppers. Diamond Hoppers, Diamond Hoppers. Diamond Hoppers, we the Diamond Hoppers.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
We build roads, bridges, wind farms and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers. Our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
Diamond Hoppers. Diamond Hoppers, we the Diamond Hoppers. Diamond Hoppers. Diamond Hoppers.
This is Carol Wolfbauer here in our Detroit Mercy post-game show. I'm here with Joe Burke, who played an awesome game today. You scored a 2-home run shot to put up the Hoppers. So tell me what you were thinking at the plate at that moment.
Well, he started me off with 2 good pitches away, and then
he just left a breaking ball right over the plate, and I just caught it out front and got the head to it, and thankfully it went over because I was chucking the second. I was trying to get 2 on it, so it worked out, and he made a mistake, and I thankfully got it.
Well, to start off the game, the Hoppers, you guys were behind by 4 runs, but you guys kept the positivity. You stayed in the game. Tell me what the dugout atmosphere was like when you guys were down by 4 runs in that 4-point deficit.
Everybody picks each other up, and, this team's resilient. We just put together great at-bats all throughout the game, and thankfully, every time we get down, we just come right back. So this team can't quit. I mean, there's no quit in them at all.
And tell me about, compared to last year, you guys unfortunately lost in the first round of the championship weekend, but now you guys are 3-0, starting off the season strong. Tell me about the comparison from last season to how the team feels this season.
This year, everybody seems to be together a lot more. Like, we've bonded quickly. We got to know each other well in spring training, and Skip said we're not starting out 0-6 this year, and we took that to heart, and we're coming out fighting every game.
And unfortunately, as you can see, did put up a 2 home run shot, but did suffer an injury later in the game. Tell me what the prognosis is, what the trainer told you.
It's not broken, so that's good. There's a nice, lovely seam on the pinky knuckle. Hurts a lot, but I'll be fine. I'll be ready to go, and, thankfully it's not broken.
Yes, took a 90-mile-per-hour fastball to the left hand, unfortunately, in the middle of an at-bat. But hopefully we're excited to see you back next game. What are you going to be doing with your hand, with the trainer? What kind of treatment to get you back on the field?
A lot of ice, a lot of ibuprofen. Just keep it moving, not try to get it too stiff, and just hopefully be right back at it tomorrow. That's the plan.
Well, thank you so much, Joe. The Hoppers pulled out a win tonight, 7-5 after being down by 4 runs. Hoppers pulled out a win here on Mental Health Awareness Night. Now, make sure to stay with us tomorrow. It is Country Music Night. Make sure to check out the broadcast. We'll be back with you guys as always. Hopefully, we'll see you guys back soon on the USPBL Network.